Beasley on the show. Good Lord. Mr. Beasley, how you feeling, brother?
Yo, man, I'm great, man. How are you?
I'm doing good, brother. I'm doing
It's
good, man.
volume time.
Yeah,
So you
let's
know
let,
I'm excited.
let's talk about volume right quick, man. Volume, smack volume this weekend. URL. Um, listen, first question, I guess, as a fan, as a blogger, right? I don't get to get you guys in here much, so I want to talk battle rap with you as much as I can, right? We know Swamp had a situation as a OG. I've been checking on him, texting on him, and
Right.
making sure he's good and everything. I didn't get to speak to him the last couple of days. Can you give us an update on Swamp? How's he feeling? Or is the battle
Um,
slave still
I,
going
I
down?
I haven't spoken with Swamp. I know, he was facing some challenges. As
Mhm.
of now, I know he was fighting through his challenges. KD spoke with him, and
Mhm.
he said that he was still going to be attending the event. But, Lord forbid if something happens and he doesn't feel, like he's up to par to do it, we more than understand it. I'm sure the community at large would understand a situation like that. Things do happen. So, we're pulling for the best for him. You know what I'm saying? But he is a warrior. And from what I've been told, what's been relayed to me is that he's still coming to do the battle. You know what I mean? So it's solely up to him, though. If he calls me tomorrow and says that he's not feeling 100%, I more than understand, and I will hope that the community at large will understand and know that just as a company, we have a stellar record of making up battles. So if that battle doesn't take place, as of now it is,
Right,
but if
right.
it doesn't take place, you know, I'm sure the people know why, and I'm sure that people, should send him love and understanding in the
Absolutely.
situation.
Should there be a conversation right now? We're going into Thursday night. Should there be a conversation on
Well,
either
I mean,
side?
what I'm saying is, KD, who works closely with us, she keeps on top
Okay.
of of the travel and
Right. Okay.
how
Okay.
people are
Okay.
moving for a situation. So she actually spoke with him, and when
Mhm.
she spoke with, that's how I got the information. She related to me. So
Okay.
staff has spoken to him, and as of now, he's still doing the battle. But again, this is a sensitive situation for
Right.
him,
Absolutely.
and I
Absolutely.
can't speak to the full details of his health and what he's dealing with, but I know it is something serious. So Swamp is smart, and he will alert us if something happens, and we more than understand, and I'm sure that the culture will as well.
How do you, it's funny when you are though, you guys sometimes will have, I don't want to use the word issues, right? Discrepancies or things behind the scenes that we don't know about, right?
Right.
Battle versus league owner, right? But then you guys always seem to come back to the table. It might take a while to get guys
Right.
back. It's so good to see Mike P back on
Right.
URL, man. It's so good to see about that. And for me, I'm a day one guy. So I remember when you guys anointed Ill Will as a gunner right next to Tay Rock. You know what I mean?
Right.
I've viewed Ill Will throughout the years, and he made no bones about it. Beach. He's always told me off air and on air that he wants to get back on URL. So it's good. It's good that that situation is mended and everything like that. How did that go? You guys and Ill Will to get back on the same track.
Well, for the most part, it's been a couple of years since we've seen him. You know what I
Right.
mean? And at the end of the day, man, we're gonna go through discrepancies. You know what I'm saying? It's just part of
Mhm.
it, right?
Mhm.
And the key thing is, like, nobody's families got hurt, nobody nobody got injured, nobody disrespected anybody. So, we're always open to a conversation, even in situations where we believe that we're 100% right. And I'm not saying that that's necessarily the situation that transpired with Ill Will, just for clarity. But I mean, if he wants to speak, you know, over time heals wounds. You know what I
Right.
mean? So as long as it's not super crazy, there's nothing that serious where there, can't be a conversation that's had between men. And that's exactly what happened. We spoke as men and we figured things out. He expressed what he felt was wrong on our end, and we expressed how what we felt was wrong on ours. And, we just talked, and nobody disrespected anybody. Nobody got hurt. Nobody threatened anybody. So, it was an easy conversation, and it's behind us.
Bees, why Tay Rock on his comeback?
Why Tay Rock? I think that
At first, it was a classic. Summer Madness 3, Tay Rock, Ill Will, certified URL classic. Is it, you touch, I mean, you touching that though, Bees? I mean, that's,
well, I feel like you're gonna see a trend where you're gonna start to see a lot of URL rematches.
okay.
This one in particular, you know, you've been to URL Studios. You see what we
Yeah.
got going on over
Yeah, I
there,
got
and it's
dope,
just a
dope, dope
certain
stuff.
it's a certain energy that comes out of that room. The first time they battled each other was in a big room. This time the circumstances are different. It's a smaller room, and we're gonna see how Rock adapts in that room or how Ill Will adapts in that room to see if there's a different outcome. Because it's definitely a different type of battle when you have maybe 50 to 100 people as opposed to 1,000 or more people. So it's a big difference, and there's two great styles and performances for battle rap. But I'm interested in seeing how things go this time. Of course, that was 10 years ago. These guys are way better. They're way more talented, skilled, and they've gained a tremendous amount of experience. So it's going to be interesting to see what the outcome will be.
Do you think he'd be emotional? Because I felt like drugs when I went to the last event. Drugs got on his knees. He literally got on his knees before the battle. I don't know if the camera, JB, the camera guys were able to capture that. I interviewed him after the battle. He's outside, and he said he was emotional. He told me, I said, why did you drop on your knees? I know he's Muslim. I don't know he has faith in everything like that. But he said he's
Right.
very emotional. Mike P said the same thing to me when I interviewed Mike P after his battle. I think this was his first battle back on URL, right?
hmm
He was very emotional and stuff like that.
I
What is it
think
about you guys that you put on platform that these guys are like, yo, dog?
I think what it is right is like at the end of the day we're all brothers, right? And we
Right.
all have a level of respect for each other.
Mhm.
And I think sometimes the things get crossed is when as men we feel like the line of respect is crossed, right?
Mhm.
Um that's generally what causes a lot of issue, right?
Mhm.
But also what you have to remember is like as crazy as this sounds, we're family,
Right.
right? We're brothers. So it's like when you're out and you're working and you started out in something with somebody and then now you're no longer working with them, it's different, right?
Right.
So when you unify and come back together again, it's like a nostalgic feeling that kind of overcomes your soul or your spirit. You feel what I'm saying? So I think like what happens is when guys come back, they be like, wow, I was gone for this long. This is where I originated from. You know what I mean? URL provides a certain level of historical impact within
Mhm.
battle rap, right? It just is what it is. It just means more. The stakes are higher. The battles count a little bit more. They mean more to the artist, right? Because before there was ever a pay structure within the culture, it was about bragging rights and it was about credibility.
Mhm.
And as far as this era of battle rap, URL is a leading force of that and the genesis of this new era. So I
Mhm.
think when guys come 360 and they've gone out on the road and they've experienced different places, and not to say that
Right.
they didn't have great experiences or performances in other places, but when they come
Mhm.
back to where they originated from, it's just a certain feeling that brings back the love that they had for the sport when they first started.
Okay.
That's my take on it.
Now, usually volumes are pay-per-view, right? And everything like that.
Right.
URL seems to be straying away from the PPV and stuff like that, sir. A lot of people
Yes, we
like
have.
we're not able to see Smack volume or the PPV, Mr. Beasley. You want to explain to this culture why we're not able to see this
I would
live?
gladly, I would gladly explain that.
All
First
right.
of all, Three Letter Man got me in the streets right now. It's after 9 o'clock. I'm in the streets in New York City in the dark. I look like I'm about to pull a jokes right now. I can't tell how dark this footage is, but
Oh, you
forgive me. It's my fault. I'm running around. But yo,
good.
um, I think people have to really pay attention to the
Mhm.
advancements in technology and errors, right?
Right.
So pay-per-view was definitely a thing, right? And it was
Mhm.
the way that battle rap was viewed. But if you really look at the three biggest proponents of pay-per-view, which were the WWE,
Mhm.
UFC,
Of
and
course.
boxing, those were
Mhm.
the people who utilized pay-per-view the most. None of them are doing it. None of them. It's over. Pay-per-view is not a viable revenue stream any longer. With platforms emerging like Discord, it's easy to snatch a stream within seconds and
Mhm.
put it out to the world, right? Battle rap is niche. We can't afford to take those kind of hits. Every single stream counts. So now, you drop anything that you put out, whether it's a boxing match, they've all they've all made the transition. UFC sold their rights to Paramount. They no
Mm,
longer do pay-per-view. WWE is now on Netflix. Sometimes they're on Peacock, but they're primarily the bigger events are on Netflix.
mm,
Boxing is on Netflix or the Zone, like in the Clarissa Shields fight. That's another platform. Nobody is doing pay-per-view. Even major like internet celebrities like Jake Paul, they don't even do pay-per-view anymore. They're leveraging deals with major platforms. And we saw this a long time ago. We see the
all right.
trends and we pay attention to what's happening. The writing is on the wall. And that was why we stopped doing pay-per-view initially, because we knew that it was dying. So we secured a situation with Caffeine, and that was our distribution outlet and our platform for a few years, right?
Mm,
And I just want the culture to understand that it's not that we're trying to punish the culture, because we've done pay-per-view. And I'm not even saying that I would never do a pay-per-view again. But for the most part, pay-per-view is no longer lucrative. And what happens is when you do it,
uh-oh. Mm, peace. Ah. Ooh. Let's come back. I got questions. I got questions. I got questions, y'all. I got questions all over the place. Ah. Did we lose bees? Hope not. I want to get it back here. I want to know what can we stream pay-per-view though through the app? That's my question though. Come on, bees. I gotta get this question off. I gotta get this question off. Streaming pay-per-view through the app. Just when it started getting juicy, like Biggie Small song. Hold on here. Let's see something. Hold up. Let's get bees back up in this joint. Hold on. Uh-oh. Let's see, y'all. Try to get Beasley back up in here. Hold on a second. Let's see if we come back up in here, y'all. Hold on. We got questions. I only had 30 minutes, y'all. He said he pull up on me, and I try to write as much as I can in 30 minutes. So let's see if he comes back up in here, man. Hold on. Give me a second, y'all. Let's see if he pulls back up. Oh, there he is. Right, the device is not connected. Okay, not connected though. It says device not connected though. Bees. Uh-oh. Yo. It says,
oh,
can you hear me? Bees. Yo. Yo.
yo, hold on. I'm going to some, because I was in the garage. I went outside. I'm going into another car. Hold on.
Okay, all right,
That
all right.
way we'll be outside. The
Another car.
reception will be.
This guy, another car. Flexing on me, Bees. I don't like that, Bees.
Nah, I'm really not. I'm trying to give you the best things possible.
Uh,
You can take my, so we got to take it from the top, right?
nah, no, we good, we good. I'll take care of
Gonna
everything.
stitch it back together.
Hey,
Hold
we
on.
were
So
actually talking
tell
about.
me,
Yes,
hold on, I'm about to be ready in
you
less
good,
than 2 seconds.
you good, brother. You good.
Okay, hold on.
We left off at paper. We
All
talking.
right.
There we go.
Can you see me now? Hold on, let me
Okay, we
see.
good. We good. We
Is
good.
better with the light or no? Hold on.
Like.
Hold on. I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna do. Hold on.
All
I'm
right.
gonna tell you what to do. I'm gonna drive to like where it's more light on the street.
Okay. Yeah. We're talking about pay-per-views though. We just that's what we left off at
Yeah,
pay-per-view talk.
now I'll start from the top.
All right.
Because you can stitch it together, right?
No, let's we good right here. Let's go. We didn't
Hold
miss much.
on.
We just talk about volume two. We still on volume two though, but I want to talk to you about the pay-per-view talk because
Hold on. Let me
my
just
question for you also to what you were saying, right? People talk
right.
about streaming the pay-per-view through the app. Have you guys ever thought about streaming the pay-per-view through the app?
Right. Now I'm gonna break that all down to you. Hold on. Are you recording right
You
now?
good. I'm recording. You good. You good. You good.
Oh
You good.
shit. All right. Hold on. I'm
You good.
trying to find some place to pull up at. All right.
You actually like though,
So,
right? Okay, talk to me,
huh?
B. Talk to me. You good? Talk to me.
Okay, cool. Hold on. Let me just pull over
All right.
right here so I can
All
pull
right.
it. All right. Boom. All right.
Mhm.
Boom. All right. We back. We live.
You back.
I
We
look,
live.
yo, bro. You can't even see me. Three.
You good. You good. Turn light on. Turn light on. Turn light on. Turn light
Is
on.
this better?
You good.
Or
Turn
is
light
this
on.
too much light?
Now leave the light on. Leave the light on. Leave the light on. You good. You good. You good.
Is
That's
this
good.
is this too much light? Is this
Nah,
better? Where should I hold the phone? Right here?
right there is good. Right there is good. Right there is good.
Right
Right
here is
there.
good.
Right there is
All
good.
right. And let me turn this shit.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so where did we leave off at? So we
Pay-per-view
left
talk, bro.
off
Pay-per-view talk.
right, we was talking about pay-per-view, right?
Yes, sir. PPV. Yes, sir.
All right, cool. So to answer your question,
Yes, sir.
pay-per-view is not really a viable revenue stream anymore.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at the three biggest proponents of pay-per-view, which were boxing, UFC,
Mm-hmm.
and WWE,
Mm-hmm.
none of them are doing pay-per-view at all,
All
right?
right.
They're the ones who did pay-per-view the most. The reason why is because with the emergence of outlets like Discord, it's
Right.
so easy to snatch a stream
Mm-hmm.
and send it around to everybody that it cuts directly into the sales. So even big companies like that, they're saying, you know what, we'll leverage, we'll hedge our bets and we'll go into existing platforms and go over there. UFC sold their rights to Paramount. Um, WWE is now on Netflix, and boxing is either on the Zone or Netflix. Nobody's doing pay-per-view. Even independent guys like Jake Paul, who
Right.
have total control, they don't even do pay-per-view anymore because, with all the streaming services that people are paying for on a monthly basis, they don't want to pay for a pay-per-view stream. And then the consumer knows within minutes it's going to be out for free. So
Okay.
I'm not necessarily saying that we would never do a pay-per-view again,
All right.
but presently it just doesn't make sense. There's no way to protect your content. And overall, you just lose because you don't recoup. You don't make the money that you used to. Years ago, prior to the pandemic, when pay per view was still on its way out, at
Right.
that point, you could still use it. But currently, in today's marketplace, it's just not a viable revenue stream, and it's dying. Like we're battle rap is probably the last people that use pay per view.
They use pay-per-view. Okay.
Right.
Okay. All right.
So
So what?
that's the main reason why, because I'm
So
sorry. Go ahead. We can say
I was gonna ask you. So what about streaming pay-per-view through the app though? When people are asking about that, like why we have you guys
this is
want
the issue, right? The,
but
the the issue is that even with doing something like that, you have these parasites that are purchased the app, grab the stream from there, hook their camera up to a TV, run it through Facebook, and charge people money. And then they'll use your flyers and
mm,
information to sell it. Be like, yo, don't buy it from URL when you can get it from me for $5.
mm,
Join my Facebook group and get to see all the battles. You know what I'm saying? And then it's just like these parasites get to lurk around in the culture, and it's disappointing sometimes because the culture doesn't shun them. They allow them to exist, and they think it's funny and they laugh, but it directly has an impact on your favorite artists and what
mm.
they're able to receive in terms of payment for their services. It affects the leagues. It's trash all the way around. You know what I mean? So for the most part, you know what I'm saying? We're pretty much done with pay-per-view. We've
All
stepped
right.
away from it. I'm
All
not
right.
saying that it's not something that we would ever consider using again if the right situation presented itself. But for the most part, it's not something that works anymore. Times have changed, technology's changed, and it's caused the business to change.
Does that include Gnome and Summer Madness also, or what are we doing? Gnome and Summer Madness?
Um,
Or
I
do
mean,
we-
I have some ideas, you know what
Right.
I'm saying? Just as a company and a brand with trailblazers. So
Mm-hmm.
we always try to think of ways to to make things, you know, great for the consumer. You know what I mean? We got some ideas and some things we're working on to kind of combat the problem, or, figuring a way to give it to people for free again, where we're able to still cover our costs and expenses to put on, the battles and the events that people want to see.
B, I'm gonna ask you a loaded question, and you're the best person to ask this question. And I want you to level with me if you don't mind.
Okay.
Are we on our last legs for battle rap?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely
I
not.
think I think battle rap's in a great place.
Really?
Honestly. Yes, I do. Um, I
Okay.
think
Explain to me,
I
sir.
think from a skill standpoint and from um just a lot of the battles that I'm seeing, like I
Yeah.
think there's still some great battles out there. And I think what's happened is we hit a high point,
Mm-hmm.
right? Where people got
Right.
a lot of money and there was a lot of battle rap and we were putting out stuff every single week. And we had the shit for free for everybody. And then I think kind of when things change as they do, people got a little disheartened, like some of the talent or whatever, because maybe the payouts weren't the same. But that affects everybody. You know what I'm saying? My payouts are not the same. You know what I'm saying? Since things change, we're all figuring it out. But it became a business when we made it one. But
Right.
ultimately, this is about competition and building your name and your profile. So I still think there's great battles out there. I think that it's just about the right level of exposure. And now that it's becoming a business, the
Mm-hmm.
art always gets affected. And this happens in any type of culture, just hip hop culture in general. Like
Mm-hmm.
even the way that music is constructed and made, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you're like a real hip hop head, like such as yourself,
Mm-hmm.
and you listen to like a lot of the classic albums that
Mm-hmm.
we grew up on, right? At that time, samples weren't really a thing. So
Right.
you could listen to like an album and one song will have five different samples on it because they thought hip hop was bottom feeder music, and they weren't tracking it, thinking that it was going to do anything. So everybody could just grab whatever samples they want to make a beat. Now you grab a sample, it could be like 1 second. If you don't clear that sample, the labels are coming after you.
Right.
So that directly affected how people create and make hip hop music because now they're saying, you know what? I can't use that James Brown sample and I can't grab this Curtis Mayfield sample and mix them together. So it changes the way that things, that people create. You know what I mean? So anytime when you add business to culture or art, it's
Mm-hmm.
going to change. And the same thing happens with battle rap. You know what I'm saying? So now that it's become a business,
Mm-hmm.
it's going to change because people want to hold out for a certain amount of money.
Right.
Guys want to be compensated in a certain way. So all of those league owners want to make sure that they're making money when they put on
Right.
an event. You know what I mean? So it's a business now. So it's going to have some level of effect on the art, but I don't think that it's going to die or ever will die. It'll just be people who choose not to do it because the money may not be what they want it to be at the time. But there will be another season where there will be, more of a financial payout once we get past the hurdle of our biggest revenue stream being taken from the culture.
So here's my question: to that has the business of battle rap has it evolved?
Has it evolved? I think it has. You know what
Has
I'm saying? I got dudes paying taxes right now, W-9 signed. People complain, but when it's time to get that apartment, you know
uh,
what I'm saying? You can show these things. You know what I mean? I think in us doing that and creating that infrastructure, it legitimized us as a culture.
mm,
You know what I'm saying? Like you can point to URL and you can say, hey, the guys that battle there, they pay taxes. The company pays taxes. They're up to date. You know what
right.
I'm saying? They're registered with the state. These are all things that make you legitimate. You know what I mean? And this is
But,
this
but,
is
but, Bees, you would agree times have changed in battle rap though. And let's go promotion for a second, right?
right.
You guys led the charge in terms of promotion. You guys, I felt, taught the culture, taught other leagues how to do promotion, right? Now,
Right.
we can talk about wrestling promotion, how that equates to in battle rap, right? Do you believe
Right.
promotion is dwindling in battle rap? Because let me tell you something, Beast. A lot of these guys don't like doing promos. A lot of these guys feel like, well, I'm not getting paid such and such dollars, so I don't need to go on 3 Letter Man show. I don't need to put a flyer on there. These guys,
Right.
the bloggers, to be honest, I feel like we go harder with the promotion lately for a while more than the leagues and more than battle rappers. Beast, to be honest, I gotta give you pushback
Right.
on that.
Right. Well, again, like I
Right.
said, whenever there's business, it affects art,
Right. Okay.
and that's a direct effect.
Mm.
So there's pros and there's cons to everything, and
Absolutely.
that may be one of the cons. You know what I'm saying? In
Mm.
terms of battle rap becoming a real business. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Um, I think that promotion has been a thing that some guys choose to do. You got guys like Anderson Burris out here doing great promotion. You got Eunice doing great promotion. Sometimes some of the older names within the culture, they feel like, oh, I don't have to do that anymore. I'm who I am. You know what I'm saying? And that happens in mainstream music. You got some
Okay.
guys when they drop albums, they hit all the platforms, they do freestyles, they
No
get
more
busy,
freestyling no more after a while. After a
right?
while.
And then, right, I'm talking about in mainstream music, right? And then
Right.
you have guys who
Right.
just be like, yo, my album drops at midnight. And then, you know what I'm saying? That's it. There's no rollout. So,
Yeah.
people will find their way and they looking for what works. And I think that, you know, there's going to be ups, there's going to be downs, there's going
Right.
to be things that happen within the culture. I just think sometimes people look to magnify those things. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? Like, I think it's our responsibility as well as the culture's responsibility to restore order and to eradicate certain things and not, like there's a lot of chatty patty gossip going on right
Yeah.
now. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like more at an all-time high, more than ever. Sometimes that overtakes the actual matchups. You know what I'm saying? Because that's just what's out there right now. You know
Please,
what
I'm
I'm
gonna put
saying?
the wisdom. People will click if I'm bashing someone, which I don't do,
Right,
right? But let's say
right,
if I'm in a bashing blog, right?
right,
They'll watch that more than me recapping a battle. This is what we
right,
got to battle right now. I think the fans, for whatever reason, they don't care about recaps anymore. Who's talking bad about who? Who's dissing
right,
who? Who's fake fighting bees? And as an old head, I can't tap into that, but that's what the culture respectfully thrives on.
right, 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 right.
Well, let me ask you this: how has partnerships, right, with higher profile figures like Drake that you guys that had business with, and your deal with caffeine changed the funding, or maybe the visibility and direction, or where the company wants to go headed to right now?
Right. I think those are great deals, right? Because
Right.
it demonstrates that battle rap is a legitimate business,
Okay.
right? And we had a great partnership, with a company like Caffeine,
Mhm.
where we show that we can deliver, we can be on time, we can get guys together, we can do shows every other week, we can get guys back and forth from New York to LA or other parts of
Mhm.
the country.
Mhm.
It was a clear demonstration of the level of execution that URL has, right? And then
Right.
URL basically represents battle rap.
Mhm.
So I think like doing deals with guys like Drake, with companies like Caffeine, and even stuff that we've done with the BET Awards by implementing, talent during the award shows to bring visibility to artists.
Mhm.
These are all things and steps that we've taken to push the culture forward, getting into Live Nation venues, going and selling out and breaking records in attendance. These are all key elements that build and make us respectable, right? And it's still a big fight because it's really just us and there's no real true underwriting for what we do. We've always been independent and we've always found a way to remain and stick around, and it's not by accident. It's we know when to push forward, we know when to stay calm, and we're more about consistency over time. I know we have a lot of the majority of our content on the URL TV app, and a lot of people
Mhm.
say, "Oh, I didn't see it" or whatever.
Right.
Well, it's there. You know what I'm saying? We shoot every single month. We've done the most battles, you know, every year consistently, the most events. You know what I mean? It's what you choose tune, which is what you choose to tune into. You know what I'm saying? If you want to see good battles, they're there. You've come down to URL Studios, you see what we got going
Right,
on. You know what I'm
right.
saying? We
I
building
have,
like a
I have,
real
I have
vibe,
the app
you know?
also. I have the app also. Make sure I
Right. You
see.
got the app, right? We have our own facility. You know what
Yes,
I mean?
beautiful facility,
Private
beautiful facility.
facility,
Yes,
dope shit. You know what
yes,
I'm saying?
yes,
Like people, people really come out. So, you
absolutely.
know, I think like again, like to answer your question, yes,
Right,
I think those deals are important. Those relationships are important.
right,
Us invading a lot of the platforms and getting people on to, guys like Flex on Hot 97,
right,
Sirius Radio,
right,
BET,
right.
um, guys having opportunities to do stuff on ESPN. Those are all things that reach from our platform. You know what I'm saying? That give people opportunity to step out and do other things. So, I think it only continues to grow. I mean, as a culture, yeah, battle rap's been around forever. But
Mm,
the structure that we've built
mm,
is really only 16 years old.
right.
And that's nothing. That's
Let,
nothing.
let me ask you this: when people say, and I've heard people say this, I want to get your take on this, right? And
Right.
I guess for me, I look at it differently, and I'm not saying this because you're here. It's $8, bro. For me, I mean, maybe because I don't maybe I'm financially I love battle rap. I'm blogging number one. I love battle rap number one. I'm a blogger, right? But when people say the app hurt battle rap, how do you
Right.
take that? Because that's something that's your business,
Oh
right?
man.
So,
I'm
when people
you
say that,
know, people are always going to have an opinion, right?
right?
But oftentimes they don't think about what they're really saying and what it really means. Like if you really sit down and understand what we've been able to build, it's a streaming service. It's a battle rap 100% owned and
Mm,
operated by guys who basically set the blueprint for what this culture is. You know what
mm,
I'm saying? It's very rare that you see people who started something still have control of it, right? So, when people say, oh, the app hurt battle rap, this and that, we have to move in a way where we're able to preserve and continue to do events and to feed people. What people don't realize is that with the app, we've done more events than, and this is no slight to anyone else or any other leagues, but
all right.
than all the leagues, if you added them up together, we've shot more battles than all of them combined.
Mm,
You really you really have to think about that. The amount of people that get fed, and then we use the money and put it back into the culture. Like big events like Summer Impact that took place, that was like a
mm,
legendary event. That would have never happened had we had not had the support from the app, right? And then, years ago, it always takes people a few years to catch on to what we say, right?
mm,
So, in instance of us saying, hey, YouTube is not sustainable. Like putting battles on YouTube and waiting for revenue to generate from battle rap is not sustainable because of the language, you get
mm,
the lowest CPM rate. So your ad revenue is generally low. So instead of getting a Coca-Cola ad, you get some guy that says, "Hey, do you want to do real estate? Get my new book, Real Estate for the Beginner."
mm.
That's the type of shit that you're going to get on your ads, and it doesn't pay very much. And it's just not sustainable. So we had to find another way where we wouldn't sacrifice the integrity of the art form by
Okay.
telling guys that they can no longer curse or they can't say things that they want to express to their opponents. By creating our own platform that we own and operate, we can do whatever we want on that platform. And
Mm,
that's one of the reasons why we made a move to the app. And then I'll see people years later say, oh, URL was on to something. Now people see, you know what I'm saying? And it's always like that. It's generally like that with any move that we make, or if there's somebody who comes out and they say they have this major issue with us, and then all the blogs cover it. And then without it never fails. Like takes about a year and a half to 2 years of us just saying nothing, and then that individual always ends up looking crazy. And people
mm,
say, you know what? Maybe URL was right.
mm.
You
So,
know,
so when people say that, there's another thing a lot of people try to say is that there's not enough exclusivity on the app. You say what to that?
exclusivity in terms of talent.
In talent and
Okay.
battles.
See, this is where people listen. I'm
All
not
right,
gonna say right that we're perfect because
right,
we're not. right? We're still learning also. This is all new business. It
Nobody can be
seems like a
perfect.
long
Nobody
time.
can be, please, nobody
It's
can be
all
perfect.
we haven't even scratched the surface
All right.
of of what's possible. But I'll give you, kind of to answer your question, right?
All right.
People will say, "Oh, the guys are not exclusive anymore." When I had everybody under exclusivity agreements, we got demonized for it. And
Mm,
I explained why. I've always been a proponent of exclusivity because how can you build something if you don't have your own players, your own team,
okay.
right? So when I did that, what did
Mm,
people say? Well, certain people, a lot of the smarter people understood,
mm,
but a lot of the people said, "Oh, you're holding these guys back. Oh, they can't go to other platforms. Oh,
right.
their potential is being shortened because you're not allowing them to move around."
How do you feel about that when
Right?
people say that,
So
B?
I said, "Okay,
All right.
cool, go. Everybody can do what they want." And now you have people complaining, "Oh, the guys battle too much. There's too much going on. URL, come back, do this again." You have to make up your mind.
That battle should have been on URL. I hear that all the time.
Right. That battle should have been on URL. This is that, right?
All right.
But before it was like, "Oh, you guys are monopolizing. You're doing
Yes.
this." It's
Yes.
not that we're
Yes.
monopolizing. We're protecting investments,
Mm,
right? URL is the only company that goes out and goes and scouts at the smaller platforms. Shout to the smaller platforms that, the talent starts out on, because if they didn't have a way to be seen or be visible,
mm,
we wouldn't know who the guys that we liked or believed in or that we wanted to present to the culture on a major scale
mm,
if the smaller platforms didn't exist.
right.
So shout out to them. But it's the same platforms that have existed for years. So what I'm saying is anyone that you would consider to be a major platform can
Right.
do the same thing. They can go pick the guys that they like, work out an agreement with them, and build them up. What happens is we go and we find guys, we get criticized for it. We take all the arrows and the gunshots and the bullets and the blogs and everything else, right? Which is fine. And then they laugh at the guys that say they're no good. Then a year later, they start to like them. Then they want those same people to go to other places and other platforms. And then when they're in agreements with us and they can't do that, then they get mad at us for the very guys that they never wanted to watch in the first place.
I've been guilty of that. I'm not gonna. I can't lie in your face.
Exactly.
I've been
You know,
guilty.
the people have to get a clearer
I used to URL,
understanding.
just let them go
Right.
battle.
Right. Let us do what we do. Right. Just allow us to operate in the way that we choose.
Okay.
Right. And I'm not saying that every time it's going to be perfect.
Right.
I'm not saying that every time we're 100% right. I'm not saying that every artist that comes through the platform is meant to be there, and can make it. But we provide opportunity and give chances.
Mm,
We take the chances. We go out and find the people and validate them.
mm,
A lot of the other platforms don't do that. They wait for us to validate them and then they want to utilize them. And then if we have agreements in place
right.
and a certain structure or a pace that we want that talent to progress at, people get mad and say, "Oh, you're in a slave deal. You can't go over here. You should let them do this." And then when we let the people do that and we don't sign guys and then they go all over and they battle every place and they burn out quickly, then people get mad at that. So they have to make a clear um choice of what they want to happen and what they want to do.
So let me ask you this: what's your honest take on URL's position versus other leagues currently today?
Oh, I mean, you've seen a lot of battles, right? You've seen a
Right.
lot of big battles that have happened
Mm,
outside of URL, and
right.
it's great, right? Because people can get to see battles that they wouldn't see, and people complain, "Oh, you're blocking the battle, and you're doing this and you're doing
Right.
that." Well, hey, the battles are out there. You guys are enjoying them,
Mm,
right? So
mm,
you have to make that clear on like what is it that you want? Do you want the battles on URL or do you not want them on URL? That's number one. But to answer your question in terms of position,
yes, sir.
um, I'm not in a race. We have a way bigger vision. We're doing things behind the scenes that people are not even thinking about. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? So if somebody has if a particular league has certain battles, or various leagues, artist leagues, people have certain battles that believe are on URL. I don't think that in any way changes our impact and what we've done. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Do that for a decade. I'm not in a race for the best event. I'm
All
in
right.
a race for the preservation of the culture and the expansion of the culture and the consistency of the culture and establishing something that is real. Because essentially everybody is just a promo, as a party promoter, right?
Right.
Everyone's an independent contractor. You hire
Mm,
somebody, you book them for an event, and you hope that the turnout is good, right?
mm,
I'm building a real foundation. You know what I'm saying? Like, the app is something that is real. If you have to scale something up in terms of business and in terms of a company, this is actually something that is scalable, that works, where there's actual people who support it, who know that the dollars that they're putting into it actually go back into the culture, and it's something that we have, that we own. Do you
okay.
know how many streaming companies have emerged? Not hip hop companies, but just companies like Quibi, companies with big, like, artists like Al Pacino, Quentin Tarantino, Kanye West, Kim Kardashian. These are the type of shows and talent that they had that didn't
Mm,
survive. We've
mm,
been doing this for 7, 8 years with the app, and we're still here.
mm.
So that in itself is an achievement that I'm proud of. So even if it was to end tomorrow, I
Yeah.
know that independently we lasted longer than companies with 20x our support, 20x the amount of stars. We've still been able to remain and do what we do.
Can you give me the pros and cons of caffeine, in your opinion, in hindsight now?
Um, the
What guys being
pros. Okay, listen,
spoiled?
the
What battle rappers being spoiled?
man, listen, man. Battle rappers were being listen. This is my take on caffeine,
Yes, sir.
right? I think it was a great relationship, right?
Mm.
But what people have to, my background is in the music business, so
I
people have
know,
to
yes.
understand that nothing lasts forever. You know what
Mm.
I'm saying? Companies come, companies go.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying? As I
facts.
just mentioned, with the various
Yes.
streaming platforms that have come into existence over the last 7 years, with millions behind them, they folded and failed, but we're still here. Caffeine was a great situation because we had a deal that was so unique. Like, we own everything that was on caffeine, every single thing that they shot, and we had them for underwriting. They covered everything. We own all of that content, 100%. Right? That's
Wow.
unheard of. You're never getting a deal. No one's ever getting any type of deal like that, right? And the one thing that was good, right? And then they had a great budget, right? And we fought for those budgets. When we went in and we negotiated, we fought for high pay because that's what we wanted. That's what we've always wanted for battle rap. This is why, in the beginning, URLs going down to Irving Plaza and Webster Hall and all the places where the mainstream artists perform and all
Right.
the Live Nation venues, and
Mm.
looking to put battle rap in those venues so it's viewed in that light. So people can say, you know what, those guys sold out the building at a price point 2 times of the average mainstream artist. They sold tickets for $100. They sold stage passes for $200 and change. These guys are independent. They don't have any underwriting. They don't have any connection to any major corporations. They doing this on their own. We
Mm.
do that to create those types of stats so that we can run around and get deals like caffeine and give guys money. When caffeine came into fruition, I'm telling you this, we put millions of dollars into battle rap.
Mm.
And I'm not just talking about into production. I'm talking about in terms of purses. You know what I'm saying? Giving guys opportunities to stream from their homes when they're not battling. Ask the guys, man. The rappers will tell
Trust me,
you
I'm mad.
it was a
I'm
great
mad I
thing,
didn't get more caffeine. That's one thing.
right? But there's more deals. Now I think what was good about it was it was consistent. It was a lot of money going around for everybody that was involved. Battles were free. You know what
Yes.
I'm saying? So we
That's
brought
true.
them out to the culture, and people still complain. Why I got to download the caffeine app? Why can't it just be on? You know, it's like people always find a way. So that was what was great about it.
Oh, gosh.
The negative part was,
Yes, sir.
I would say just a lot of events so fast. You know what
Okay.
I'm saying? Like I don't think we had enough talent to keep up with the demand that they had because our impact was so strong on that platform. We brought over 1 million people to caffeine. You know what I mean? So that's why our deal was able to last for those 3 to 4 years that it was, is because we brought over 1 million plus people to their platform. They
Jesus.
designed everything based around URL from the dance battles and on down. They watched
Mm,
how we promoted and they learned from us. And we learned a great deal from them about business and structure and how to proceed. The
mm.
one the one thing that I don't like to hear,
All right.
and I think just us as a people have to stop doing,
Okay.
is we have to stop minimizing our own companies. A lot of
Mm,
times when there's a big distribution outlet, the fans and the artists point to the outlet. So they'll go, yeah, man, because caffeine, man, when I was on caffeine and caffeine and caffeine, I'm going to tell you this, three.
mm,
No artist spoke to Caffeine directly. Caffeine didn't contact no talent. Caffeine contacted us. That
mm,
was the Ultimate Rap League's deal. That was a deal that we negotiated. We did a deal with Caffeine, and in turn, Ultimate Rap League did a deal with the artists. So it's not Caffeine determining what the artists get paid. That was us putting millions of dollars into the pockets of the artist and the production and the lighting and doing all these other crazy things, having those big trucks outside to ensure that the streams didn't crash as we fed out to all of those people. So I just don't like when talent or fans try to
right.
minimize our impact. We're the ones who went in and negotiated the deal. So always remember the check says Ultimate Rap League on it. Understand?
Be clear.
And nothing else. Let's be clear. Nobody was having no conversations. Anybody that had any
Right.
conversations, anybody that was employed at Caffeine,
Yes,
anybody
sir.
that had a streaming opportunity at Caffeine, that
Mm,
deal came directly through us and
mm,
nobody else. So when people say, oh, Caffeine was doing this and Caffeine, no, Eric Beasley, Gene French, and Smack Mitchell went in and sat down and negotiated that deal. And then when we had the deal, we decided how much money people could get. And if you see, people were never complaining because when the money was there, we put it back into the culture's pockets. We,
mm.
you know what I'm saying? And we did things that, we just wanted to do because the budgets were there. It was a great situation. So, but I don't want to live in this world where you know, we're just like, oh man, caffeine, man, caffeine's over. So now battle rap is over. Like we're always out and we're always looking to negotiate other situations and other deals that we can bring back to the table. Would they be as fruitful as caffeine? I
Right.
don't know. I
Gotcha.
think that was just perfect timing. They were a startup. They were funded by Fox. They had a lot of big investors and big corporations that were involved in it, and we were fortunate enough to sit down with them and negotiate the right situation.
Does battle rap? You can teach me the business standpoint of this when I ask you this, right? Does battle rap survive off sponsors?
Right now, it does.
Right now, it does, right?
Yeah, it's there's 1 million sponsors. There's guys that's running around, and that's a great thing, right?
Mm,
And I think that people have to understand anything that is a fine art survives off of sponsors,
mm,
right? I liken battle rap to orchestra music or ballet. When you go down to Carnegie Hall or Lincoln Center to
mm.
see some of the fine arts, the ballet, that stuff is sponsored by like connoisseurs of those arts, right? People who truly love ballet, who love orchestra. There's no 18-year-old kids running to see people do ballet unless you're a ballet dancer.
Right,
So
right,
that
right.
stuff is sponsored by the people who love that culture. And
Okay.
that's what battle rap is. Okay,
Mm,
it's a niche art form. It's part of hip hop, but it has to be sponsored and it has to be maintained by the people who love it, right?
Okay.
However that is. So when it was pay-per-views or when there are pay-per-views, you buy them. You don't watch it for free or you
Right.
won't see it anymore. If there's an app that has the most battles in the world on it with the people that you like, you support it. If that company has shown you years and years and years where we've given away free events, where we've given you stuff for over a decade on YouTube, where when we did have a big deal and it was paying off and we had the spot, we made it for free. We paid people the most money that they ever made in their life.
Mm.
So we've shown good favor towards the people that work with us, towards
Hmm.
the talent, like all those things we've done, right? So you
Hmm.
got to show love back and you got to support
Let
it.
me ask you this question, Beast. How much of the artist played in the part of this, right? Whether they choke and not being prepared, not giving good rounds. How much does that hurt pay-per-view sales and the increasing of bootlegs and people not getting the app? Does that hurt also an artist standpoint?
I think it can hurt because there's only a certain amount of characters
All
within the
right.
culture that people look for, that people actually truly want to value, right? So if those guys are making mistakes, and that's why I always had exclusivity and time in between when they could battle, because I don't want to do this big Summer Madness promotion and then you're battling Bazooka Joe the week before you battle on Gnome and Bazooka Joe kicks your ass,
Right?
right? It down in Alabama, and
Right.
now it goes viral, and then now you're coming into this heavyweight fight compromised. You know what
Mm,
I'm saying? So that was another reason why I implemented exclusivity.
okay. How do you balance pushing new talent versus, booking proven stars to keep events profitable
Well,
and
I know that the guys of today will be the stars of tomorrow, right?
okay,
Not all of them,
right?
right? But like, I'll give you a perfect example. I mean, look at like, when like New Jersey Twerk came around. Like when you first saw him, they laughed him to the moon.
On
His
name alone,
name,
on name
all of
alone,
that.
on name alone.
They
Shout
went
out to him.
crazy on him.
Shout out
Who
to
are
him.
these guys?
Right,
That's when
right.
he was doing those Born Legacies in
Mhm,
Brooklyn. You know what I'm
mhm,
saying? Back in the days. They
mhm,
they laughed him to the moon. The guy
mhm.
ends up being one of the biggest stars in battle rap. You know what I'm saying? There's others that I could mention. You kind of got me on the spot, but like we always take those chances. And that's what makes us unique. That's why we always have new guys and stars that are branded and connected to our company, because we are the ones who actually go out, find the talent, bring them, put bigger stars in front of them, give them
Mhm.
opportunities, give them final exam and born legacy and all these different things to build them up to a certain level. The guys who stick around and see the process through are usually the ones who continue to prosper.
Mhm.
Sometimes guys get to a certain point and, it's business, right? So then other leagues will want to book them because these are new stars. Now I'm good, dogs. Niggas is crazy. They'll 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 have new, like, he made me lose my train of thought. But
Right,
oftentimes what'll
mhm,
happen is those guys, they don't stick around. So they
right.
don't get to fully develop. So then they go out in the world and they take advantage of all the offers. And a lot of the leagues say, okay, these are URL's new guys. We know that they're entry level. So their pay may not be that high, but they've already been marketed and they're recognized. So we can use them on an event and balance our budget and make a profit.
What
And
what
go ahead, I'm
what makes
listening.
a star in battle rap in your opinion? You're a league owner. What makes a star in your eyes? What do you guys see an individual like? Okay, he has the star ability. He's a twerk. He's a Geechi. He's a certain. Like you see that? You know what I mean? What is it? A particular battle? Is it timing?
I
Is it
think it's a number of things,
all
right?
right?
It's actually skill set,
All right.
it's personality, it's likability, right? Because outside of rapping, you have to have some type of connectivity with the people. And now with stuff like spaces, you get to hear guys' stories, they get to talk, they go in there, they yell, they scream, they argue all day. You know what I'm saying? So you get to know people, you get to see them on a different level. You get to see them go at other people and what their level of sarcasm is and how much they can get under somebody's skin. You know what I'm saying? So
You
that
like
kind
you
of
like
makes
all
you
that?
like.
You like that though? You like all that as a league
No,
owner?
I think it's good.
Okay.
I just think it's corny when it turns to violence.
Oh, right,
Like when
right.
I'm hearing dudes and they, yo, man, when I see you, man, I'm gonna do this to you and I'm gonna hurt you. Watch on my dad. I'm gonna punch you in your face. And then these guys at the event and nothing happens.
Nothing
Not that I
happens.
want something to happen. I don't want anything to happen. So I'm glad that nothing is happening.
I know what you mean. I know
But
what you mean,
in the
bro.
same token, I just think that element of it is
Yeah.
whack because what are we really debating about? Now, if you're screaming about skill and you're debating about somebody's last battle, that's different. But
Mm.
if it turns into this whole street thing, it's like, yo, dog, come on, man. Like, what are we really doing?
You're the best person to ask this question. Can you set the record straight, if you don't mind, for the culture and what's going on with Geechi, Gotti, and Sue Surf, if you can?
Definitely. Without giving too much
Right.
details,
Yep.
I'll start with Geechi just
Yes.
because that's the newest topic, that people are discussing. I've spoken with him, you know what I'm saying? And we discussed a few things. I'm kind of waiting on some direction from him in terms of how he wants us to help. I've been speaking to his family, and as recent as this morning, I text just following up just to make sure that things are okay with him. So they said they're going to be getting in contact with me to give me what the next steps are and how to proceed. So when I spoke to him, he was in good spirits, and he was chilling. He was just going through his process, and it's a tough spot.
Right.
I know a lot of people, are disappointed. I see a lot of people raging out
Mhm.
on him and going
Mhm.
crazy, and
Mhm.
but we never know what anybody's facing. We never know what they're dealing with,
Right.
and nobody's perfect, man. We all make mistakes.
Okay.
So that was a bad. May have been
Okay.
a bad judgment call. Still, we don't know. Everybody's guilty until proved. Everybody's innocent until proven guilty. You know what I'm saying? Despite what we see. So
Right.
let's let him go through the process and then we can make a judgment on him at that point. But, Geechi's still our brother.
Mhm.
Um, he's loved in the battle rap community. He's a great person.
Mhm.
So, like, you know what I mean? If there's a way that you can help him out in this situation, I think we should, man. I don't think like because somebody makes a mistake that we just abandon them and throw our hands up. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like everybody's done something that they shouldn't have done or got into a situation that they didn't realize was going to turn into a bigger situation. And I think the real thing is here is for us to band together as a community and try to do the best that we can to see this through and get them on the right track and help them out. So
I
that's my take on that.
just want to say one thing though. I don't respectfully. I just gotta say this. I don't like when people battle rappers respectfully. I would rather I want you guys to be more responsible. I don't think when you guys get in situations, and I'm not even talking about Geechee and Surf right now. I want in totality. I don't like personally as a grown man when men decide to do things. Now we're at a point at URL and like URL should
Mhm.
jump in. I think that's irresponsible
Right.
on people's parts. And I gotta say this as a grown man. When people do stuff and they put the onus on
Right.
B Mac and URL to step in, it's their
Bro.
fault. I think that is just asinine in my opinion, though, and everything like that.
Yeah, it's something that we've dealt with. You know what I'm saying? And part of it is because we've
And
helped a lot of people in the past.
before you go, I know for a fact that y'all take care of a lot of people behind the scenes. I'm not gonna throw brothers under
Right.
the bus. I'm gonna respect, but I know for a fact y'all take care of a lot of people that y'all don't even talk about. But yeah, I'm gonna let you rock though, B. Yeah.
Yeah, like I think because people know that,
Mm-hmm.
right? You know what I'm saying? Despite what they say, but the people that know, they know. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? That if there is a way that we can help people, we try. We can't help everybody, but we try when we can, when we can and when it makes sense and we can do it and we will. So I think people, it's just an expectation. You know what I'm saying? But like we get blamed for a lot, especially me, man. Yo, I take
How do you feel about
yo, the
critics?
heat
How do you
is
feel about
on me,
critics?
man. Yo,
How do you
listen,
feel, hold on? How do you feel about critics that be coming at y'all though? How you feel
yo,
about
man. I tend not to deal with the
it? All right.
grifters. You know
All
what
right.
I'm saying? Like I don't deal in grift. I usually take the high road. I don't say much. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people have come at me and they've saying, "Oh, I've done this and I've done that," or they'll say URL. You know what I'm saying? Did this to me or did that to me.
Mm-hmm.
But I ask people just to really sit back and analyze and listen, right? Like if somebody's saying that I did something to them, right? And a
Right.
lot of these guys, they're in gangs or they got homies or whatever the case may be, right? I'm at these events. I'm letting these guys come to these events with 10, 15 people or their closest friends, right? And I'm not saying this from a perspective that I'm tough or anything like that, but if it's been 16 years, you've never heard of anybody pressing me. You've never heard of anybody putting their hands in my pocket. You never heard of anybody taking me to the side for a conversation. I'm an average size human being. I'm not really big. I'm like 190 pounds. I'm 6 feet
Right,
tall. You know
right,
what I'm saying? Like
right,
I don't understand. Like if I was such a bad guy, something would happen. Somebody no one's punched me in the face. Nothing has happened. Lord forbid. And it's not because I'm tough.
right.
It's because I haven't done anything that merits that.
To warrant that type of
Right.
interaction. Right,
Is
right.
there's no reason to do that. So when people say, "Oh, Beasley and the guys did this and they did that, and I'm mad and this and that," and then they come to the event and I look them in the eyes and they know who I am and I know who they are, and nothing happens because I haven't done anything to
Right,
anybody
right, right,
for
right.
anything to happen. That's one part of it. You know what I'm saying? So I just want people to take that and listen and really think about that. Like, yo, why hasn't anything ever happened if these guys are going 15, 20 deep with their friends? And it's not like I just keep the events in New York City. We've
Mm,
been around the country, been out of the country, been in London, been around the world, been in every possible situation.
mm.
I go to battles at We Go Hard in Brooklyn, Shout the City.
Tell us
I
city.
go dolo by myself
Mm,
and I don't change anything. Jewelry, I go. I'm not a scary I'm open to any form of conversation or resolution that anybody wants to have. But it never has to go there because I'm not doing anything to provoke anybody to do anything to me. So I just think that's a narrative that fans get from people in the spaces. Sometimes that I'm listening,
right.
people will send me clips. And it's guys that I know, it's guys that I speak to. For the sake of a conversation in spaces, they'll paint it like we're villains. They'll be like, yeah, you know how them niggas do, man. And you know what I'm saying? And I'm listening to this and I'm laughing. And they think that that I don't hear these things.
Right,
And I'm
right,
laughing. And I'm just
right.
like, yo, man. And then it's just like, and I'm not putting nobody on blast, but I'm just like, yo, dog, you just called me last week in a crisis. And I helped you out personally. Now you're framing this like, I'm some type of villain. But then you'll call me tomorrow for a match. So it's insane. So I understand it's part of the
How do you
character
feel
that
about that though? When people be on that
it's
though,
it, it- it's trash, man. It's trash. It's disappointing. You know what I'm saying? But I don't want to paint the picture like that's everybody because there are some really great, upstanding guys
mm,
that, you know what I'm saying, I enjoy working with. Of course, there's people that I don't enjoy working with, but that goes for any business. You know what I'm
mm,
saying? There's certain people that you have better relationships and friendships with, and there's certain people that it's just business, and that's fine. I'm not looking to be liked or for
right.
people to have a certain level of admiration for me. I go more off of respect. You know what
Okay.
I'm saying? And that's it. But like yo three, they blame me for everything, man. You know what I'm saying? Dude crashed his car in Ohio. Somehow it's Beasley's fault.
Oh gosh.
Dude
Oh,
choke is Beasley's fault. You know what I'm
uh,
saying? Because Chico's invisible.
mm,
Smack is, Smack. He's the leader.
right,
He's the face. He's the
right,
guy.
right.
And I'm the one who's speaking to the talent most of the time. So it's always, oh, nah, Beasley told me, Beasley said, and Beasley, you know what I'm saying? I'm
Oh,
used to it by now.
you know the word about you is this because you worked in the record business and because you're very articulate.
Right,
They try to say you a spin master. They try
right.
to say you a spin master. Man,
Yo,
you gonna
listen, let me
find
ask
out
you a question.
easy, man.
I need people to, it's not that I'm a spin master. It's
Uh,
just that what I'm saying, it makes logical sense. And when people listen to it, they try to figure it out and then they can't
uh,
do it. And they say, oh, it's media training or it's this or it's that.
mm,
That's not what it is at all. Like you've never seen somebody say, yo, I'm in this URL contract and I can't get out and they won't let me out of my contract. You've
mm.
never heard anyone say that ever. You've never heard someone say, I went in for a record deal and I couldn't do the record deal because URL stopped me. It doesn't happen,
So somebody try to say
right?
you stop the record deal from them. No,
Well,
somebody try to say
yeah. Somebody did say that, and it was disproven recently. Shout to Mickey Facts.
Nobody was believing that shit, Beasley.
Right.
Okay, nobody
And
believed that
they
shit.
believed it for
All right,
years.
come
But
on,
you
man.
have to understand, with human beings, when they commit to a belief system,
Right.
there's nothing you can tell them. Sometimes battle rap fans are like MAGA followers. You know what I'm saying? No matter what
Wow.
you say, they're gonna
Please don't do
pivot to
that.
the next thing.
Don't
That
do that. Please don't do
it's just it. It's there's some people that are like that.
that. He
Like
said
they have it in
MAGA
their mind
followers.
that this is
Crazy.
what they want to believe, or they have it in their mind that because we're successful, that we somehow became successful through doing underhanded business.
Business,
But
right,
if
right.
you really look back and you think about the people that started with us, the majority of them still battle here.
Wow.
So if I did something that was so wrong to you, right, you wouldn't come back. If you battled and you didn't get paid, you wouldn't come back. Why
Mm.
would you need to come back? Like, I don't understand it. We're not strong arming people. I don't have a reputation for putting hands on people or hanging them out of off of balconies or by the ankles. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't
You're
know
like,
where this comes from.
some
You
shit
know what I'm
like, some
saying?
shit like shit don't be. Let me
Yo, half of the time
Yeah.
when I'm under attack or there's an accusation made against me, I don't
Mm.
even say anything. And I think that worked. That was to my detriment to a
Was it
certain.
though? Let me ask you. Early URL days, right? You
Right,
guys weren't very vocal at y'all let a lot of things slide and everything, and just keep doing business and keep
right,
giving us battles after battles and classic after classic, right?
right.
Do you wish you guys were more vocal back in 2010, 2011, 2013?
Nah, I think the time for me to be vocal was within the last 3 years.
Why do you say that?
Within the last 3 years, things got a little bit different with
Okay,
the emergence of the internet, like really taking off in terms of like streaming and stuff like that. Because
right.
now we're in a time where the CEOs have to be on the front lines, right? Because
Mm,
somebody can just come out tomorrow and make an accusation against me. And if I don't say anything about it, it now becomes the truth. And I think oftentimes that narrative was painted about URL. Oh, they're like this, they're like that,
mm,
they're like this, right? As soon
mm.
as like money changes and dudes ain't getting the big paychecks, then all of a sudden we're wrong. Or you got guys in spaces making up stories. Yeah, man, one time I had to go back because I got shorted $15,000. At 20, they tried to take my money. They took these dudes. I'm like, yo, dog, I'm paying you. You think I'm stealing a purse from you?
Mm.
These are the purses that I negotiated for you. How am I taking your purse? Like, where do you get that? Where do these guys come up with this stuff? You know what I'm saying? So I think oftentimes that's where people like get things mixed up. You know what I'm saying? Like there's nobody, like the majority of the people who battled with us, even the guys who complained about us, they still battle here. They
Mm.
still shake my hand and look me in the eye, or I look them in the eye when I see them. So if something was that wrong, they wouldn't be here.
Now, Bees, I asked you about Geechi.
Sounds good
It sounds good.
to have a villain, right? So sometimes I don't say anything because I'm like,
Right.
you know what? This might be good for the sport. If they want
Mm.
me to be Eric McMahon, I'll be Eric McMahon.
Eric, man, is crazy.
I'll be Eric McMahon.
That is crazy. Now, you spoke about Geechi, though. Can you tell us about Surf?
Yes, I spoke to Surf the other day.
All right.
As you know, he did complete his bid up here in Jersey, his federal bid, but he still had some things going on with a prior gun charge. You know what I'm saying, in Detroit. And what's so ironic about it is like I was there for that too. You know what I'm saying? I was there for that too. You know what I'm saying? So this is like a long journey that we've been on. You know what I mean? So
Mm.
from what I understand, he he had some type of situation where um it was like it was supposed to run concurrent.
Mm.
I think it'll be worked out fairly soon and he'll be home soon. I don't know exactly when it like in these types of situations, he could be home in 3 weeks.
Right.
He could be home in 3 months. The
Mm.
good thing, the upside about it is now he's actually taking care of everything. So when he is released, he'll have a fresh start.
Is the culture putting too much pressure on him? Because I feel like people are saying he's going to save battle rap, and respectfully, I don't think the culture should put so much pressure on one man.
Right. I just think he has a very
Easy.
strong presence.
Right.
He has a very strong presence, and like there's different there's different stages of guys who have power within our culture, right? So you
Mm,
could say Murder Mook and Loaded Lux are like from the beginning stages, like those
right,
are like the god tier guys, right?
right. DVD
And
era.
then when you think of like Sue Surf in terms of his impact, personality, and just his overall energy, he's like the king of the new era, meaning like when URL began, like he's that figure to us
Mm,
in our culture. You know what I'm saying?
right.
So I think his presence was missed because he was so in tune with the culture and so interactive with the people. So I think people kind of miss his presence.
We do, we do,
So,
we
and
do.
ultimately, when things change, people try to give a reason as to why things are different instead of accepting the natural progression of life, right?
Right.
Because nothing, life is this, that, this, that. People just think life is, a lot of times fans just think the culture or life is this, and it's not
Mm,
always going to be that way. So I think when things are not, well, they don't feel like things are like this, they
mm.
come up with a reason as to why, and maybe a lot of that is Surf is missing. So that's what's missing from battle rap.
What's the difference in your opinion, to when Surf, TNA, Cortez, Hollow, all these guys you had on the math, all these guys just shine at the time, all these guys you had on Calico, young Calico at the
Right,
time, Rich Dollars, and all these guys that came under you under URL, right?
right,
I felt like those we seen stardom with those guys compared to the new talent. Even though I like a lot of the new talent,
right.
I like a lot of the new guys though. What is it about those guys compared to these guys that maybe we don't see the stardom in them? You know,
Right.
is what
Okay,
makes it
Pooh, you
special?
got to understand something, right?
All right.
When you first see somebody do something for the first time, it just means more.
Okay.
Like you're
All right.
mesmerized. So it's
Mm-hmm.
like, yo, the first time I ever saw anything like this, it was these guys who were doing it,
Mm-hmm.
right? That's one aspect. And then the second one is that back then there wasn't a lot of events. There was maybe three events inside of an entire year. So the buildup was just crazier, and
Mm-hmm.
those guys were the focus. A lot of people didn't even believe that they could battle at that time. So they
Mm-hmm.
left it to the few guys that did, and those guys,
Oh, uh-oh. It's been over an hour. I got a lot of questions to ask. I still got a lot of questions to ask y'all. I ain't gonna lie to you. I got a lot of questions to ask on this joint. Dog, I got questions for days. Y'all don't even know. Son. I got questions for days. Ah, we lost bees. Bro, when I tell you I got questions for days, I got more questions. Academics question. I got Smack of the Crucibles. I got a Rex question. I got a twerk question. I got how they gonna be good there. Hey bees.
yeah, pardon me, man.
No, you good, you good, you good, you good, you good.
Calls I hear. Nah, but I'm saying is those
Mm,
guys are the first guys that you saw doing this.
mm,
So there's a certain level of nostalgia that's created behind those experiences. You know what I'm
right,
saying? So
mm,
people look, and then there weren't as many battles that took place. So those battles had such impact when they did happen. You remember every single moment. So I think that's, and aside from them being good, I'm not taking away from their talent, but they were pioneers in the sport that we know and love. So they're always going to get that recognition. It's just like when you first saw UFC and you saw Ken Shamrock, and then you seen this little guy, Hoist Gracie, come in with this gi and
mm,
choke everybody to sleep. You were
mm,
like, yo, what the heck? You know what I'm saying? But if now in today's sport, the way it's advanced, he probably wouldn't fare as well. But because you saw him first, there's a certain amount of respect and nostalgia that is associated with him as an individual. And I think the same thing applies to the aforementioned names that you spoke
okay.
about.
When Surf gets home, do you think he wants to battle right away? The
From
conversation
what
we
I
have.
said, he said he was going to take some time to chill. A lot of times people think in their minds, yeah, man, he's in jail. He got mad bars loaded up.
Probably
Man,
right
he's
one
in
bar. He
jail,
got
bro.
one
He's
bar.
in prison. Like he's worried about staying alive. He's worried
Right.
about holding composure and protecting his image. You know what I'm saying? While he's inside and worrying about his daughter and his family and real life things, So I'm sure that he's written some things, but I don't think like he's packed up with rhymes. And as soon as he touches down, he's ready to jump on stage. I think, he needs a little bit of time to spend with his family and get acquainted with them. And, he has a daughter and, he's an active father. He's always been. So I'm sure that he wants to go and spend time with her and catch up with her. So, give him a chance, give him a few, some time to relax, and I'm sure that he'll make his way back onto the stage fairly soon.
Academic says he believes battle rappers B should be getting paid $500,000 per battle, sir. Are there any battlers that can secure a purse of that size? And maybe they can't, and why not?
Right. Right now, there aren't any rappers that can secure a purse of that size.
Wow. Okay.
However, I do agree with academics that battle rappers should. I want them to be paid $500,000 per battle. I
Right.
would love for that to happen. That's a dream of mine. I
Right.
would love for the talent to make that kind of money, and I appreciate him utilizing his platform to put out that type of energy towards our culture. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to academics, and you know what I mean? Let's get that conversation started. And if anybody's watching this, tag them in here, throw them in the comments. If he'd like to extend his platform and we can come up and have a discussion about battle rap and how we can get it there, that's dope. And it's dope that he appreciates battle rap because we are the best lyricists within hip hop, period. So
Mhm.
I'm glad that he's using his outlet to try to bring recognition to battle rap.
I don't mean to be messy here, right? So pardon me. Smack
Right.
expressed a disdain for the Crucibles, right? How do you feel about the Crucible process and what is Peace's current relationship? In your opinion, I know Smack spoke about it briefly. I don't mean to be
Right.
messy, but how do you feel about the relationship with P and with Crucible situation and everything like that?
All right. That's like a two-part question.
Yeah,
So,
my bad.
the crucible process, right? You know me, I'm pro URL
Yes,
with
sir.
everything. So is Smack.
Mhm.
Maybe that process wasn't like one of Smack's favorite processes, but I thought it was a great process.
Okay.
We did the proving grounds for a number of years, which I loved as well. And I like the Crucible process because it produced a tremendous amount of talent came out of the Crucible. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? There's a lot of guys who emerged from Crucible, you know, despite whether you felt 100% about it or 80% about it, it did produce a lot of talent. So for that alone, I like
Mhm.
the Crucible process. I didn't have a problem with it. There were some things maybe that I wanted to change, but overall, I think it was good for the company. I thought it brought together a lot of talent, and I think it gave a lot of opportunity to different guys. And now even we have guys who were just coming to URL that didn't make it through the crucible the first time. So
Mhm.
once they got that reality check from the judges and everything, it kind of pushed them forward and made them
Okay.
better MCs and better talent. So, for me, I like the crucible process because it actually yielded some positive results. As far as the relationship with P,
Yes, sir.
I kind of dealt with P more so than anybody else than Smack did.
Okay.
My relationship with P is still solid. Um, P, despite what some people may say, was a tremendous asset to URL, in my opinion.
Wow. Okay. Wow.
Um,
Okay.
a lot of people, will say, "Oh, I didn't like
He
P."
gets dog
P
walk.
is in a.
Dog walk.
Let me tell you something. The reason why I can identify with him
All right.
is because, like, and I'm like in his position. Pause. Like, like he has a job that no one is gonna like him, no matter what, right? Because they look at him as the entry port into URL, right?
Right.
So if
Right.
he has 20 guys and he has to pick 10, it doesn't mean that he didn't like all 20,
Right.
but he picked the guys that he felt were the best at the time, right? So there's always going to be someone that disagrees with his selection. There's always going to be a manager or talent that feels that they should have gotten the opportunity. So because they didn't, he's the face of them not being able to move to the next step. So
Mhm.
he's never going to get people that really like fully rock with him because he's just in a it's a tough job.
Right.
Anybody that's in that position or has that job, they're never going to be liked. So if I put a new employee in that position tomorrow, say I hired you to do the job, people will hate you.
They would.
Because if you don't give them that opportunity that they believe that they deserve, they automatically look at you like you're a hater. You don't know what you're talking about. You
Right.
shouldn't be in that position. So that's a tough job.
Who
That's a
has that
job
job?
that
Who has that job position right now, B? Can you enlighten us? Who has that position?
right now, we just kind of been manning it ourselves. We have a few people, that we're working with closely that help us out. I don't want to say anyone's names just yet,
Can I
because
say a name? Can I
it's
say a name?
nah. I mean, there's not really Smack is kind of taking things over for now.
No, but can I say a name?
Nah, I don't want to do that yet. I don't
No,
want to
me.
say any names.
I want to say it. I want to say a name. Me. I want.
Nah, I don't
He's
want to
my
say any
brother.
names
You
yet.
shot. I'm saying Jay Black. I'm saying Jay Black. That's what I
Oh,
feel.
Jay Black. I
Yeah,
mean, yeah, Jay Black.
I
Yeah, people like that. Yeah, they make referrals, and you know what I'm
think Jay
saying,
Black
to help us out.
I think Jay Black should definitely get that position.
Right.
That's
Oh,
my
you're
brother.
saying, oh, who should get the
Yeah,
position?
who should
What
get
you
that
saying?
position? Jay Black.
Oh,
I
yeah,
think
yeah,
Jay
yeah,
Black should get
yeah,
that
yeah.
role.
Nah, Jay Black, but I mean, that they'll hate Jay Black too. Jay Black don't want that position. You know what I'm saying? You're under fire.
I love
You're
that
under.
young man.
Just imagine you go out, right? You
Right?
fly to a city. You go away from your family. You
Mhm.
pull up. You know what I'm saying? You give your time. You shake hands. You don't pick somebody, but you're nice about it. Then the next day there's a blog about you. Then they're talking about you. They got your face in these stupid YouTube um thumbnails. You know what I'm saying? Somebody's going in on
Right,
you.
right.
Like, these are tough. This is a tough job. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, anybody that has that position, they're not going to be liked very much. But, to answer your question, I still have a good relationship with P.
Okay.
I think he was a tremendous asset to what we've done. And he didn't really get fired. Like, he's around, but it's just he kind of like moved away on his own too. Like, you know what I'm saying? He had his own things that he had going on. We had, there was, I wouldn't be 100% honest if I said there weren't a few little things that we had going on, but it was never like a big, like a big disagreement where we're
Right.
beefing and cursing each other out, and is people are crossing the line but disrespecting each other. You know what I'm saying? It's just kind of like, people have their own paths, and we kind of took a break from
Right.
working with each other. But like, I would definitely work with him again, and I definitely think that he was a tremendous asset to what we've done at URL.
All right. Another messy question. Another messy question, brother. Respectfully, T Rex expressed a desire to be compensated by you guys, URL. Where does URL stand with that,
Right.
sir? That situation.
That's a touchy situation, man, because like, a lot of people don't know this, but like, I've known Rex for like more than half of his life. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? Like, we've known each other for a really long time. Like, I knew Rex before I knew Smack and Chico.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
Rex is probably, like, out of everybody in URL, I've known him the longest. Just from being in the street, just from Harlem and battling, and you know what I'm saying? I've known him since then. Um, you know, it's it it's a disagreement. You know what I'm saying? He feels a certain way. He has the right to his opinion and the freedom to express it.
Mhm.
Um, I just wish that he would have let me know how he felt prior to me hearing it on social media. That part of it I didn't like, but I mean, it's not anything where like we beefing or I'm mad at him. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? When he wants to talk, we'll talk. When we see each other, we see each other. He's saying that he's gonna go out and do some other matches and do his thing. And I wish him the best on his journey. You know what I'm saying? And just like any other situation or any other discrepancy that we have, you
Mhm.
know what I'm saying? Time heals wounds. So, you know,
Mhm.
um, I don't feel that we should compensate him, with additional pay for the performance. But
Mhm.
that's my opinion. He feels that he should be compensated. Um, I'll just leave it there. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
All right. I
We're
want you.
not beefing. I'm not mad at him. You know
Mhm.
what I'm saying? I just wish he would have expressed his sentiment to me during this whole time, because I spoke to him numerous times, and we've been on the phone and in person, and he never said that. And then just to hear it online was just a little bit off putting because I felt like we had a type of relationship where he can call me directly and tell me how he feels. You know what I'm saying? And I
Right.
just didn't feel that he did that. But other than that, I don't really have no issues with Rex. You know, I
Right.
just know him for a really long time. And if we don't work together, it's cool. We're still friends in my eyes, you
Okay.
know. And I just leave it there. You know what I'm
All right.
saying? It's all good with me and him.
Now, the Outside series, I think you guys got something here, right? The Outside series has produced excellent battles. What inspired those bar heavy type of battle matchups and everything like that? Because I love I gotta be honest, I didn't like the lights out. What's it called? You guys had the lights out? What's that thing you
Light
guys?
work. You didn't like
I
light
ain't like
work?
light work beats. I
I
love
like
I
light
like
work.
man.
Yo,
I
people liked it.
no, no, I like Outside series way more than that, bro.
Right,
I
right, right,
love
right,
the
right.
Outside series I got going on too. Real talk though. But
Yeah,
what
like
inspired that
the
though?
outside, outside is just, it's just a name, it's an
Right,
imprint. One of many that we've created over time.
right, right,
Um,
right.
I think that the battles are good just
They
because
all
it's
really
just
good.
energy, right?
Okay.
And again, shameless plug. That's on the URL TV app. Go get it at urltv.tv. Support black business. The 100% owned streaming company.
Okay,
Um,
okay. Talk heavy. Talk
you know,
heavy.
you, I love it. You know what I'm saying? I love what we're creating down there. There's a lot of great battles that live on the app, and that series is one of them. Um, we just have Outside 6. We had Outside 5 before. Nexus is dope. And just the regular battles that we do on there are dope. And just the reason why we kind of moving towards that is just because there's a lot going on within the culture. There's a lot of battles happening, and I just want to concentrate on great production, great
Okay.
sound, a good environment where guys feel comfortable and they can perform at the highest level. And I feel like we're creating that environment at URL Studios. I know you've pulled up a few times and you checked the
I
vibe in
love the
there.
vibe. I
It's
love
an
the vibe.
amazing vibe.
The vibe.
You know what I'm saying? We're gonna be doing the volume series in there, so I hope it yields the same results.
Mhm.
The volume series will be available on the app on Monday. We'll start dropping the battles. So we look forward to, if you're not a member, go ahead and join one, 8.99. And it's not just the volume series that you're getting. You get all these summer madnesses and all the caffeine stuff and all these different battles you never seen, like classic joints like between Chess and Geechi. It's mad
Woo!
battles on there that you
That's
don't even know dudes battle that just live on there. And it's 8.99. So try it out for a month and then run through the catalog if you can. You won't be able to get through it in a month. It's that many actual battles that you haven't seen. So if you are a connoisseur of battle rap,
Mhm.
there's no reason why you don't have the app. Plus, we utilize the funding from the app to continuously do battles every month and do, other projects outside and pay for other events. So it's all good.
Again, you're the best person to ask this question because you dabble in the music industry, right?
Right.
So a lot of diss tracks been going. It's in the land of diss tracks, though, Bees,
Love
right?
it. I love it.
Why hasn't battle rappers made the transition, right, from battle rap into the mainstream? And why is it still difficult for the transition for those brothers to get over there?
I think that when you're doing anything, you have to do that thing that you're good at all the time, right? So
Right,
there are guys who are talented in music, but you have to dedicate yourself to that. You know what I'm saying? It's not something that you can do part-time. Like you can't
right.
just drop there are instances where people drop a song randomly and it goes viral and they get a record career, but the majority of the time that's not what's happening. And you have to have a skill. You know what I'm saying? Just like um guys who make music can't battle. Sometimes, not all, some guys don't make good music or they need more practice at making good music. But there are people that make great music like Surf. New
Yes.
Jersey Twerk
Yeah.
makes great music. Shout to Arsenal, he makes great
The
music.
soul
T-Top.
makes good music. And a lot of
There's a lot of guys
guys.
out there that make good music. And I even love this exchange of the things that Jay Mills and all these guys are doing at
Facts.
DNA, they're back and forth. Like those are really like skilled back and forth, battles that we're seeing out here. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? So I think that it's great for the culture because hip hop is steeped in competition. And this is just a competitive field. It's another part of battle rap. It's getting viewership and attention. And I think it
Mhm.
it also leads to guys potentially battling in the in the current state of battle rap, which is the acapella style of battles that we do at URL. So I think it's all good for the culture.
New Jersey twerk. Is he? I don't know if you know. You probably you're not his manager. You can't think for the brother, right?
Right.
But I'm pretty sure you have conversations with this man
You can
off
connect
behind
to
the
your
scenes.
phone now. Do you need help with that? Hold on, I'm sorry. This thing is
This guy's
talking.
stunting on. This
Um,
guy's stunting on me, man. Go ahead, man.
Yo, repeat that, yo, please. No, no. Listen, New Jersey Twerk. I mean, he's a guy who battled at least twice a month. We haven't seen him for a couple of months, so like
Right.
3 months off for him is like an eternity. I'm sure that you're gonna see him making his return to the ring fairly soon, most
Okay.
likely this spring. You know, Twerk is Twerk, man. He's a rock star, man. Like his impact in the culture has been tremendous. You know what I'm saying? Despite
Mhm.
whether you like him or not, or you're
Right.
disappointed in his performances. And I tell him all the time when I'm disappointed in him. He's my friend too. You know what I'm saying? My brother. So I let him know, yo, man, you're not delivering the way you're supposed to. But I feel like whenever he's serious and he understands what's happening, he's one of the best guys in the world. So I think again, like you know, he needed that reset. You know what I'm saying? And he'll be back soon. You know what I mean? And people, hopefully people take to him and, like what he has to offer.
Let me ask you about Kid Slade right quick, Bees. I have a few more questions here. With Kid
Sure.
Slade, right? He went through a lot of scrutiny, right, a couple years ago, right? But what made you guys still stick with him? I think he fought through it and everything. I think he's a phenomenal bat. I'm a big Kid Slade fan, right? But what made you guys stick with him even through his scrutiny and everything? You guys didn't give up.
I think I think I think Kisley is talented.
Mhm.
Um, I think he stood out. You know what I'm saying? He did well. He did well. We put him on stage in Irving Plaza. He did well. And
Stumbles battle, yeah, stumbles
I
battle.
just think he fought tooth and nail for his respect. You know what I'm saying? So despite what people say or how they interpret things, that's not for me to determine. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? That's for him to work out, right? My job is to provide a platform for talent to show what their skill set is, right?
Mhm.
So it's not for me to make judgment on what somebody said he did, or you know what I'm saying, and then exclude him for that reason. Like those are things that people are going to talk about in battles, right? Those
Mhm.
are things that make for entertainment. So, if those things are true or not true, or however you decide you want to interpret what happened, that's your decision. You know what I'm saying? And not everyone's going to like every guy who battles on URL. Some people like certain styles of rappers. You know what I'm saying? Some people like the female MCs. Some people like, the guys who have been in URL from the beginning. Some people appreciate the newer stars. Some people appreciate everyone.
Yeah.
So, we just want to provide an outlet for people to show their talent, and, anything that he's dealing with personally or that somebody could attack against him in a battle, that's for him to stand up and face and, defend. We're just here to provide the outlet. So, he stood by us, and, he's never done anything that is against the company. So, we provide opportunity for him, and he's showing up and delivering every time that he steps on stage.
Where's the educate me, Beast? What's a
Yeah.
thin line with a battle rapper, right? Where it's good for business, but it might have been disrespect, and you don't know if you can make amends. Is there a thin line between all those doors?
Yeah, I mean, like at the end of the day, we're men, right?
Right.
And there's only so much disrespect that you can tolerate. But I
Right.
think it's just like when somebody knows they're wrong and then they're lying. They're just
Mhm.
straight lying, saying things that didn't happen against you. I think that's the most damaging thing. You know what I'm saying? And then
Okay.
what happens is we're the establishment. You know what I'm saying? So no one's ever gonna believe us. So we get like the same rap that a record company would get. Like, yo, it's the labels taking advantage of the poor artists. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's
Right.
always what it is. And that's what it's always gonna be. And I accept that, and I know that it comes to territory, right? So, like sometimes, I'm human too. You know what I'm saying? Like I get upset. You know what I'm saying? People say stuff about me, make shit up that it didn't happen, lie on my name, make accusations against me. You know what I'm saying? But I know that that's part of what I do. So I've accepted it. So a lot of times you'll be like, yo, don't you get mad? What is this about? Why are you not saying anything? Why are you not online arguing and defending yourself? Because I
Mm,
just feel like sometimes when someone's made up their mind and that's their belief, you're not gonna change that.
right.
It's just gonna be what it's gonna be.
Mm.
So you know what I do, man? I go play with my daughter. Nah, I'm here.
Let
I'm
me.
good.
So, all right.
I'm
So
not pulling out.
I'm gonna ask you this
Nah,
question.
bro, I'm good. I'm good. What do you want? Hold on.
No, you
Hold
good.
on, yo. What happened? I said, could you move up a little that we could park? Oh, I got you. I got you. All right. I didn't hear what he said. I
Yeah.
thought he was one of these. Yo, in New York City, right?
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna tell y'all, in New
All
York
right.
City, they
Uh-huh.
got these gypsy dudes, right? And they come through in these Suburbans, right? And they get close to you. Oh, my brother, you want to see a Cuban chain? You know what
Uh,
I'm saying? So I thought he was one of them dudes. You know what I'm saying?
good.
But yeah, like these dudes will come up to you and they'll like try to sell you speakers and jewelry and shit. You
Broken
gotta be like,
amps.
nah, I'm good. I'm good.
Oh man. So let me ask you this question, and you let me know if I'm out of bounds, right? A lot of people are saying because how battle rap is constructed right now, right? And URL is still here, and there's not a lot of leagues are dwindling down, respectfully, right?
Right.
Um, KOTD's not as frequent. There's no more RBE. Bullpen is not here no more. Chrome is not here anymore. URL is probably still here, right? TBL is not getting their feet wet, right? Guys are looking for places to battle, sir. Guys need homes, right?
Right.
Guys who's battled on your platform before and their best battles, respectfully, have been on the URL platform, right?
Right.
I'm gonna ask you a question, and it's not coming off as a beefing question because is there any what would it take for you and a certain individual to have a conversation? I'm talking about Easy the Block Captain.
Oh boy.
I'm sorry,
I
I
mean,
got
I be trying to stay away from these
okay.
questions
All
because
right,
like,
right.
but like I mean, Smack kind of summed it up,
Yes,
you know what I'm saying?
yes.
And I kind of like echo his
Okay,
feeling
okay,
regarding,
okay.
Easy. And like I
Right.
said, like I'm not out here looking to beef and yell and
Right.
scream and say anything about him. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? My thing with him, and I'll just be forward with you because they say
Okay.
sometimes I'm too political and I don't say nothing. My
Mm-hmm.
thing with him was just like he knew he was under contract, right? And it's just some old shit. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? We talk about some old shit, but we beating a dead horse. Like
Mm-hmm.
I don't even bring this man's name up, but like my only issue with him was that he knew he was under contract and he told the people that he wasn't under contract when it's clear that he was under contract, and he made it appear like he was mistreated. Like he made it appear like he wasn't on Gnome and Summer Madness and he wasn't battling goods and
Calico, T Rex,
Calico and King
anybody?
Shine and all these different people on all of these shows continuously.
Mhm.
He made it appear like, he wasn't getting paid and he wasn't getting looked after and, all these different things. And then when he left, if you would have just said, yo, you know what? This was the best situation for me and my family. So I had to make a move because I felt that this was beneficial to me. URL didn't do anything, but I did what I needed to do for me and I accept the consequences that come with my actions. I'm not going to say that I wouldn't have been upset because he broke the contract, but I would have had a little bit more respect because it would have showed some level of integrity. But when you do that, and then you turn around and then you make it seem or appear that you're being mistreated or that you were done wrong when these are people that directly helped you and changed your life. I just think that's foul. I think it's
Okay.
like you're walking out the door and then before you walk out the door, you turn around and go and like spit in my face. You know what I'm saying? So for that, it just showed a huge character flaw. You know what I'm saying? And he can go and say whatever he wants to say about me or whatever. I'm not disrespecting him. I'm not calling him out of his
I think he
name
wants
or
to make
anything.
amends. You asked my
But I'm
as a
just I'm
blogger.
just speaking.
No,
I'm just
easy.
telling you.
As a blogger, I think he wants to make amends. In my opinion, if you ask
Yeah,
me, he wants to make
I'm
amends.
telling you, what it is.
right?
Now, in terms of us making amends, I mean, I don't know. Like, right, we're not as obvious. We're not friends,
Right.
and we're not doing business together. And who's to say that he ever wants to battle on URL again? He may not want to battle here, and that's fine. We're not looking for him to battle on
Right.
URL, and I
So
don't think that the culture expects it, or I don't think it's something that they want to happen.
got
And
you.
he's free. He's out. He's doing his battles, and people can go and enjoy them. We're not intervening in whatever he has going on. He had some battles last year, and people got to see those battles and how they looked. I personally think his impact was much stronger under my program,
Okay.
but others may disagree. And I'll
I
leave
agree.
it there. I'll leave it there with Easy to block
Last,
that.
last, last question about that. Last question about this. If he called your phone and you saw his name on the call ID, you pick it up.
Ah, I don't know. I don't
Okay.
know. It
I'll leave it.
depends on how I feel at that time. You know what
I'll
I'm
leave it
saying?
there.
I might hear what he want to say, what he
I'll
has
leave
to
it there.
say. I mean, I truly don't know. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? Most likely not. You know what I'm saying? And that probably would never happen. He would never call me and I would never call him.
All right.
You know
Fair
what I'm
enough.
saying?
Battle rap. Does it need a Hall of Fame ceremony?
Sure. Why not? We
Okay.
gotta celebrate ourselves, right?
Oh,
Because no one else is gonna do it. And we always have to create a certain level of importance. And I
okay.
feel like that's something that we've always tried to do with
Okay.
venues, with the way that we make trailers and present people. That's what made I believe that's what made battle rap in a modern era big. It's our type of promotion and energy that we put into our events is what makes
Okay.
people respect them and like them.
Jay Black is saying Cody is the last year for Cody. Do you guys would you guys pick that up? Or do you guys does the URL want to pick that up?
I would do it. You know what I'm saying? I definitely would do it with Jay Black's blessing. You know, I think it's important, you know what I mean, to shine a light and give recognition to the people who are making impact.
Mhm.
But again, Cody is something that is funded by the people. So the people have to, because there's
Right.
a cash prize that comes along with it. So
Mhm.
people have to make sure that they're putting in for it and that they're gonna support it. As long as they support it, I would support it. I would support Cody and I would support Wody.
Mhm. Um, I know it's probably hard to ask you this question, but can you give me three battles that mean the world to you? I never hear you talk about battles. You stay away from these kind of
Yo,
conversations.
cause you know why, man? You be getting me in
Oh,
trouble, man.
I want
Because
to hear.
then when
I
I
want to
say
hear
the
Eric
battle,
Beasley.
right?
Oh, I want to
These
hear Eric
dudes call
Beasley.
me, yo, that's crazy, Bees. You just said 3 battles, man, and you couldn't put me in one of the battles. I just think, I think the whole library means everything to me, right?
Ah, come on,
Because, and I
Beast.
know that's a generic answer. It's a generic answer,
It
but
is, brother.
but every piece is
Mhm.
part of the puzzle. You know what I'm saying? And I just think like it built a strong foundation. I mean, I could name a few battles that had tremendous impact for me. Of course, Loaded Lux and Calico was a big
Mhm.
battle for me because I feel like what we were doing in URL that kind of brought eyeballs to what I mean, the sport in a way that we hadn't seen before. You know what
Mhm.
I'm saying? That was like in the early days of what people now say is viral. You know what I
Mhm.
mean?
Mhm.
And it brought out a lot of people. So I think that was an important battle. Man, I'm trying to think. Yo, I loved that event where we had where was Surf and T Top battled in Irving Plaza. That
Okay.
was grimy. That
Okay.
was a grimy event. Like I loved that event. That was a Gnome. That was when we did Gnome twice in one year.
Ooh.
I think that night. That was crazy. I think was that the same night that Briz battled Ill Will? Yeah. No, or Cal or Arsenal.
Oh, it's awesome. It's awesome. It's awesome. You got
That was
awesome. It
fire.
was
That
awesome.
was fire. That whole event was fire. That was like a real good feel. That was the perfect balance of a big crowd, but a real grimy setting. Like it was perfect. It was a lot of people, but it wasn't the amount of people that we attract now. Like right now, when we go to New York, it's so difficult to do an event because the turnout is so big that it's so hard to operate. Like it's so many people trying to show up and come into the doors for free. It's really tough, right? But back then at that particular time period, that was when you got the people who actually paid and paid for the events and weren't trying to get in for free like that, where you had that perfect balance
Right.
of like a little bit of celebrity, but like mostly fans, and it just had that ill feel. They had like that real underground New York feel. That was like an event that I really appreciated and an event that I felt was important. It kind of defined the energy that we were trying to personify.
Last question: how do you and Smack make it work? Never had you brothers in no squabble, no beef. And y'all been rocking for how long? You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? For you, Beasley,
that's my dog, man.
as here's what I look at it. With you, because you have no ego at all. When I
Right.
when I get around you talking to you, and let me tell you
Yeah.
something about he doesn't really y'all get on this man, but I can't get on this man. And the reason why I can't get on this man, he probably doesn't want me to say this, but Beasley has helped me out. Y'all don't even know. When I lost my channel, and I haven't even met Beasley, and I got on the phone with Beasley, and Beasley said three X, Y, and Z. My channel is gonna mess with. Reach out to me X, Y, and Z. So I have nothing but the utmost respect for you. You know what I mean?
I
Now,
appreciate it. Thank you.
anything like that. But as a person that's lend its critique, right, and trying to lend a conversation with me, I'm always gonna have number respect for you, brother. Always.
I
And
appreciate that.
the way you guys treat people at these events, at the UR
Right.
events, you guys treat people like family. I gotta be
Right.
honest with you that. But what makes you and Smack work though, bro?
I think like we're one and the same
Okay,
in a sense, right?
right?
Like we didn't grow up as like best friends. Like we kind of met in the strangest way. Like there was this group called Nappy Roots, right? They was on
You
Atlantic
can connect
Records.
your phone
Yes,
to your
Happy Roots.
Right.
your input.
Yes.
Your phone can be
Hold on.
connected now.
Damn.
Can you say that again?
Roots is
Oh,
crazy. He
all right.
said,
So yo, boom, right?
mm,
I'm pulling up because my homie was managing them. You know what I'm saying? So as I'm walking in, I'm looking for Smack because I saw the first DVD. I was looking for. I'm like, yo, this is fire. So I'm walking in, he's walking in. We on our phones and we just bump into each other. I don't know it's Smack and he doesn't know it's me. So I'm like, oh, excuse me. And then I don't know how we started talking. I'm like, yo, what's up, B's? Like, Smack. I'm like, yo, you the Smack DVD dude? Y'all been looking for you. Da 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 da. Because I was working with Corey Guns at the time. So I was
mm,
like, yo, I got somebody that's fire. Trust me, he's dope. Da 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 da. And that was and the next day we did the joint in the 745. Corey was rapping with the infamous Smack DVD video
yes,
with Corey
yes,
Guns.
yes, yes.
Anybody that doesn't
Young
know that,
Ray,
that's a new
Young Ray.
fan. Make sure you go watch Corey Guns on Smack DVD. It's on YouTube. Pull it up. You know what I'm saying? That was like the beginning of Smack and I working with each other. You know
And
what I'm
that's Young
saying?
Rain. That's Young Rain. Rain was in the video. Young Boy.
Yeah. Rain and Corey Guns are
Yes,
at the
Melissa.
Loaded Lux.
Melissa.
They at the Loaded Lux versus Miles, Young Miles battle. If you go and watch that at Black Star, you see Rain and Corey Guns like little teenagers and shit, like 15 years old, younger than, you know what I'm saying? Mad young,
Right.
already dumb nice at rapping. You know what I'm saying? Like they was always around us, our little brothers, our younger brothers and shit. You know what I'm saying? Go, if you ever go back and you watch Miles and in Loaded Lux in
Melissa.
Black Star,
Yes, yes, yes.
you'll see Corey Guns and Rain in the background. That shit is hilarious.
Crazy,
You know what
crazy.
I'm saying? We've all been around each other for years, like knowing each other. That's what I'm saying, like Rex and Mook and Lux and all. We've known these guys forever. You know what I'm saying? So
Wow.
yeah, but like yeah, nah, but how me and Smack, we work. I mean, we argue. We
Brothers in
sometimes we
argue.
don't see eye to eye. We have screaming matches on the phone, but it's for the betterment of what we're doing.
Right,
You know what
right,
I'm saying? That
right,
and we both know that. So, we're not sensitive. Yo, Bees, you bugging. Don't. Yo, Smack, you can't say that, my nigga. You
right,
cannot do that.
right.
I'm saying that, Bees. I'm saying what I want to say. You know what I'm saying? We have feuds all the time. No, yo, Bees, that's corny, my nigga. You're corny. You know what I'm saying? We go through it. But there's a respect that's there, right? And we're friends. So we're brothers at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? We just so happen to do business with each other, but in the process, we became really good friends, like really close friends. So, I mean, I feel like you meet certain people in the world that you just grow up with that are in your environment. And sometimes the universe just draws you to certain people that you never would expect to have such a good friendship with.
Word.
And that's kind of like what me and Smack have as
Dope.
brothers. You know
That's
what I'm
dope.
saying? If we've just been blessed to get to work with each other, we've been blessed to be successful, to grind with each other, and to actually become successful and still remain friends. You know what I'm
Wow.
saying? So I think the way we make it work is we're just honest with each other. You know what I'm saying? There's no ego. You know what I'm saying? If he's fucking up, I'm gonna tell him, and vice versa. He's gonna let me know the same if I'm slacking.
Oh, I gotta answer last. I have to ask you this question before you go.
Ask me
Ultimate,
whatever you need to ask me. I'm here. I'm not got
ultimate,
nothing going on.
ultimate madness. Ultimate madness. Are we gonna get that? Are we gonna get any more tournaments moving forward? Or you done where you went?
Nah, I love the tournament format, but again, you know what I'm saying? We got to get support and we got to get underwriting. You know what I'm saying? Like, Ultimate Madness is not cheap. And the financial expectation is still going to be high. You know what I'm saying? It's still going to be people still going to want $100,000, and we got to pay the talent every week to show up, and then travel and venues, and you know what I'm saying? It takes a lot, and it's something that's expensive. You know what I'm saying? But it was something else that we did, that we pushed for, and we got funding for, so that somebody could walk home with $150,000. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is the type of things that we have put out there. You know what I'm saying? So I just want people to know that and understand that, because I think a lot of times they get this perception that an artist have lied. Oh, URL, I didn't get my money, and this and this and this. And yo, man, listen, I'm gonna say this again, so you can take. We put millions of dollars into battle rap,
Right.
millions,
Mhm.
millions, and I'm not talking about in production. I'm not talking about the salaries from the people. I'm talking about the deal that we had directly with Caffeine. We took that deal and we put millions into people's pockets. You know what
Mhm.
I'm saying? Spread across, of course, the entire roster, all the MCs, the ladies, the people. You know what I'm saying? Like, all those things that we did during that time period, we took that money and we gave it back. We gave it to people. You know what I'm saying? It was our deal that we negotiated for the sole purpose of trying to negotiate something where we could give guys real money, where we could create opportunity for people to stream from their homes and have jobs and other opportunity. You know what I'm saying? Is what we did. So I just want people to be aware of that, because oftentimes, like I said, they try to minimize our contribution or involvement. You know what I'm saying? It was never Caffeine coming to battle rap. It was Caffeine coming to URL negotiating a situation, and then taking that situation and spreading it amongst the talent and the people that we work with.
Mhm. Are you guys done with booking the big battle names? Are you guys booking? Are you done with that?
I mean, of course not. We just did Loaded Lux
Twerk.
and Twerk. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? But again, you know what I'm saying? Everything has to make sense. I'm not saying that I'm done with those big battles, but I mean, we see them come or we see them go. I think people are kind of used to them now. You know what I'm saying? So there has to be the next progression in the culture and what that's going to be. So my goal is to just get people excited about battle rap, period. I want people to discover people. I don't want people to live in the past. You know what I'm saying? It's great to whip up nostalgia sometimes, to give people what they want or what they first felt when they started to enjoy this culture. But I
Right.
also want people to get excited and have more of an open mind towards new talent, and respect and understand what's being put down out here. You know what I'm saying? Because there are some new guys that are really showing up, that are taking the craft seriously, that need to be acknowledged. And I think we're giving them that opportunity. And it's just up to the people to just to believe in what we're doing and trust us. You know what I'm saying? Like, because we're always pushing for the betterment of the culture. We've always done that. We've always gone out to the big venues. We've always presented guys in a correct light. Even when people talk negatively about us or me specifically, I won't say anything. Sometimes I'm saving these guys that talk bad about me. I could really
Mhm.
come out and show receipts and destroy people, but I just choose not to, because I feel like they're more valuable to work. So I'll be the bad guy. I'll be the heel. But I just need people to understand it's not always like that. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times it's really just people who are upset. And this goes on in any industry. And I think, like, a lot of times what we're seeing now is whenever there's one thing that happens or one guy who makes a mistake, the whole culture gets demonized. And I feel like sometimes battle rap, the fans and the culture itself, we don't stand proud. We cower to mainstream. Like, oh yeah, man. Oh man, battle rap is so bad. We're so poor. We're so this. We're so that. These are the things that people do instead of standing strong and being prideful and believing in what it is that we have and what we built.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So I think it's just key for people to believe and what we have and what we're doing and know that it's always going to go through different stages, just like the music business. If you go on mainstream music, dudes are doing bids all the time. Dudes are going to jail all the time. Things are happening to people. People are losing their homes. You know what I'm saying? We live in a tough time. We live in a tough economy. And
Yes.
this is just not happening in battle rap. I just think it's magnified when it comes to battle rap because it still is a subculture that's trying to break through the surface to be into the mainstream, and we're working hard to get it there, but it's still, relatively new. The music business has been in existence
Right.
for what, over 150 years or more. You know what I'm saying? And they actually have a widget that they're selling. We're selling a performance, and we're also learning about new ways of monetization and how things are tracked and recorded. And these things are coming about every day with streaming. So there will be a way for battle MCs to make money beyond being paid for their performances or advance for what their potential royalty could earn. You know what I'm saying? But people just have to give it time because this is relatively a new business and we're structuring this based on the way that things are, based on the money that's available, and based on the technology and the direction of things. You know, we're kind of following music's lead, but it
Mm-hmm.
still is its own separate thing. It's its own industry within the hip hop industry.
Do you feel that we're
Still
losing?
being,
Do you feel battle rap is losing fans, viewership, consumers? It feels that way,
I,
Beast.
th- I you could say that, right? Because you could say like maybe there's tons of stuff on YouTube for people to watch, right? There's everybody, like everyone who, I think like it's just about the platforming of it, right? So
Mm-hmm.
people want to see it streamed, but people have to support it for it to be streamed, right? They have to actually buy it, right? And then the artists require a certain amount of money to go on and do the jobs that they want to do. So maybe, some of the, people, but there's people that are streaming. There's people
Well,
that are watching.
let me ask you a question because people will say this, right? With you guys, URL years ago, a card like Smack Volume, this card this weekend coming up, right? It would have been promoted differently 5 years ago compared to now. You say what to that?
Yeah, it would have been geared towards a pay-per-view stream.
Okay,
Now
all
it's
right.
being geared towards a paywall, right? And then if you look at the current structure of content, it's all geared towards paywalls, right?
Mhm.
It's all geared towards platforms. There's
Right.
this new actions flick, dudes running, shooting, jumping through windows, catch it on Netflix. This and this, Alex Cross, Prime. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's out here promoting their shit behind their paywall. But we're doing the same thing, but oftentimes we get demonized for it. Oh,
Mm.
you're holding the culture back. You're doing this. No, we're building our own platform, our own streaming platform, our own network. You know what I'm saying? We're following what the mainstream is doing, but we're bringing it to battle rap as we've always done. So people have to respect and understand that. Any other way is not sustainable. We don't live in a pay-per-view era no more. That monetization stream is dead. So the next best thing is platforming your content. And for the people who want to support it and buy it, they come in and watch it. But we can't stand outside like crybabies and go, it's 7.99. But yet and still, you have no problem purchasing the apps that emerge from corporate America, like Hulu and Netflix and Prime
Mm.
and Paramount Plus and Peacock. You have no problem supporting those, but you cry and complain about something that you claim you love, and you don't want to spend 7.99 a month for it. But you'll buy all of those other streaming platforms and have no issue or problem supporting them. This
Okay.
is a problem where the consumer actually has to look in the mirror
Mm.
and accept their role in it. You know what I'm saying? This is where we are at. This is where the game is. This is how things are done. This is where music is placed at. This is where all content is placed on different platforms. Think about the people who actually complain, right? But they all have pay-per-view platforms that live or streaming platforms that paywalls, but they're on YouTube. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? You got guys that do blogs that come and get content and they put it behind a paywall on YouTube. You have leagues who shoot battles and then they'll charge $3.99 or $4.99 on YouTube, right? And no one has an issue with that.
mm. I
But
saw somebody,
but when we do it and we
right?
actually build out our own platform 100% independent, people get frustrated and get mad. Oh, it should be this. But if it was on YouTube, you would have no problem buying it. And
Let
that's
me.
insane to me.
I'm gonna read a comment to you. Somebody said on the comment section here a while ago about the app, right? They said paying a monthly fee and waiting months at a time for a decent battle to drop from each card really ain't worth it. You say what to that?
For one, that's not true.
Go
Like when
ahead.
we drop cards, if you
Mhm.
if you 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 review our battles, you watch
All
them.
the time. I
You know
review.
what I'm saying? So you saw outside five happened on Saturday. On Monday, it's out. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying? It's out.
yes.
You know what I'm saying? Outside six, Monday is out. Battles start dropping. So whoever said that, you know what
Mhm.
I'm saying? A lot of times people just hear other people say it and
Say
they
something,
echo it
right?
without even doing the research to find
Correct.
out if that's even real or true. You know what I'm saying? Every battle that somebody shoots at an event is not going to be good. Every battle is not going to be that great. People are paying $60 for pay-per-views that crash.
Mhm.
People are paying $60 for pay-per-views and the main events are not happening. But no one's complaining. You know what I'm saying? I'm charging $7.99 and I'm giving you a whole catalog of battles that you've never seen before.
Mhm.
And you're still finding a way to be upset. And it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, I just find it so crazy when people do that. Like they come with these things. Oh, it's like this. It's like, do you know how many people have saying, yo, I tried to do it and it didn't work. And then I go back and I'll be like, did you switch your email? Did you change your thing? And then they
Right.
change it. And then they never go back online to make the correction. Yo, I made the mistake. The URL app is working. I forgot to put my email. I used a different email when I signed up. Yo, thanks, Bees, for helping me. But then they never go back online and make the correction because people don't want to be wrong or take accountability for when they're wrong,
Oh my
you
God.
know? But it's like it's really just three.
Mhm.
Every nothing in life is always a win or super steady. You know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying? We always have to fight and keep moving until we figure things out. When we started URL, there was no monetization. It didn't exist. You
Mm.
know what I'm saying? We did it out of our pockets because we believed in it and we figured out a way to monetize or become successful later. Yo, when we did Summer Madness 2, we didn't make any money. Venue was packed. We didn't stream. What streaming wasn't really out like that. It was a packed door, but we paid people, we flew people in. We
Mm.
didn't make that much money. We went home just happy that we completed the event. Then the very next event that we threw at Irving Plaza after we went viral with the Loaded Lux event, then they canceled on us the night before. The day of, like the day before that Friday, we had people flying in, disaster, all these dudes coming in from the West Coast, coming to touchdown. That's when we went over to the Gramercy, and then the whole fight happened, and the police came. It was too much people, and then we shot the surf and conceded battle downtown and all of that. And we made no money. We lost money. We sold out Irving Plaza again.
Mm.
And they refunded all the tickets to the consumer without even giving us an opportunity to let the people know. So we've been through tons of trials and tribulations where we never made money, but we went home and the talent got their money. But you never heard anybody in 16 years say, I rapped for URL and I didn't get paid. You've
Never
never
heard that.
heard that.
I've never heard that in my life. Never heard that. Never.
You know what I'm saying? So people have to have to really sit back sometimes and think about when people go online and they come up with these stories and scenarios and they make all this salacious stuff and they attack us. But at the
Right.
same time, you want us to do well and perform,
Mm.
but you're attacking us without any real information. And just about every single guy who's ever had a situation with us, I mean, We've been doing this for 16. You know how many hundreds of MCs that we've dealt with over the time that we don't have issue with?
Yes.
But you know, the three or four guys that we do have issue with, if you notice, almost every single one of them is now at odds with the culture. They've done something else after they've left URL where they're not in good standing with the culture. And now people are realizing, oh, well, maybe URL was right. Maybe they didn't do anything wrong. You know what I'm saying? So people have to start to take those things into account. Are we perfect? No, not by any means. And have we made mistakes? Yes. And when I do make a mistake, I'm accountable for it. I apologize. I don't have a problem with doing that. But overall, the
Right.
vast majority of situations, we're
Mhm.
right. We do right. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Somebody saying, "Oh, bad business." Bad business is somebody trying to negotiate something that we don't agree to, and then they go and say it's bad business. But you never hear anybody say they didn't get paid. You know what I'm saying? If I make an offer to you and you sign the deal and you accept the money, you can't then complain after you take the money and you don't
Mhm.
have the money to give back. You know,
Mhm.
so hey, listen, it's all part of the game. It's all part of it. You know what I'm saying? And I accept and I embrace it all, the good with the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Let me ask you this: should battle rappers get jobs
At certain levels, they should.
at certain levels,
When
right?
you're entry level, you should. Unless you have amazing discipline and you're gonna rap every single week and sit home and really write and memorize your rhymes and show up on the highest level, then you can actually make it. But remember, like I said, people are making these comparisons between battle rap and the music industry. Music industry's been in existence for 150 years. You can't make the same comparison. It's just
Oh,
not the
please, at
same thing.
all, at all.
This is very, very new. You got to really think about it. Like people really been getting paid more so the last 10, 11 years. The first few years, the pay was very minimal, but like that's nothing. That's 10, 50. That's nothing. You know what I'm saying? There will be ways that this develops and where people can do better. You know, and there are guys who are doing well right now, like
Mhm.
DNA is doing
Yes.
super good right now.
Hmm.
You
Hmm.
would not believe it. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
You know, Conceited is doing well. There's other people who are doing well that I can't think of off the top of my head that are like doing streaming and doing other opportunities. Surf did well with his music. It's about how you apply yourself and what opportunities you take advantage of.
Does Tay Rock epitomize battle rap?
Definitely, man. The dude's a gladiator, man. You know what I'm saying? Tay Rock is just he's been so good for so long. Like it's amazing. Pause. I know they're gonna pause me on that, but he's been such a good talent
Mhm.
for an extremely long time. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
yeah.
saying?
Hmm.
And you don't really find that level of consistency in a lot of people in anything, in any sport, um, in any craft. I think that Tay Rock is brilliant. You know what I'm saying? And I'm glad that, he's definitely a pillar in battle rap and in our company in general. So, shout out and respect to him.
Capo, will we see Capo on URL anytime soon?
Yeah, I actually spoke to Capo recently. So we talking
Right.
about getting back. He's somebody I respect from the new era, right? Because like
Mhm.
Capo really puts himself out there. Like he's active. Like he does the things to get the people excited, like to see him. Like he makes the fight. He knows how to get under people's
Yes, he does.
skin.
Yes, he
He's
does.
a good promotion
Yes,
guy.
he
And
is.
he's
Yes, he is.
actually been improving
Yes.
lately in what
Yes.
he's been
Yes.
doing. So
Yes. Yes.
we've
Yes.
seen a steady improvement with him. It's been nothing but improvement with him. So I'm interested in seeing what he does when he makes his return. We've been having a discussion about it. We're looking at getting him back in March or April, just depending on schedules and things like that. So yeah, Capo's dope, and we definitely look forward to getting him back. And he's somebody I believe came through the crucible too.
Yes, he
So
did.
you know what
He
I'm
did.
saying? He's dope.
Nitty and Mook, is that something that you guys are working behind the scenes, or you can't indulge in that kind of conversation right now?
Yeah, I mean, we're always working to do like big battles like that. You know what I'm saying? It's something that I would love to do. You know what I'm saying? But if somebody else gets it and is paying this tremendous purses or whatever the case may be, I'll step aside like I have for a lot of the battles that have taken place recently. For me, it's all about business. I'm here for um I'm here for consistency, and I want to remain on an upward trajectory. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not, sometimes those battles yield a big result and sometimes they don't. And it's no knock on the talent. They're great battles. You know what I'm saying? Every time those guys step forward and step onto stage. So shouts and respect to them. But again, we're still trying to figure out what the next wave is in terms of monetization so that the artists can be compensated in the way that they want to, the leagues can make money, and we can put money back into what we're doing and continue to build and go to the next level.
Is battle rap? Are we back in rematches? Is that the new wave now? Back to we're gonna get a multitude of
You're
rematches.
gonna see it, because I mean, once we do something, then everybody does it. You know what I'm saying? But I'm here to say, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get on my smack shit right now. If you're
Ah!
doing URL battles and it ain't sanctioned from this, and it ain't sanctioned from us, it ain't an official rematch. If,
Oh my
if it's
god!
not sanctioned from us, it's not an official rematch. So you'll see guys doing it. You know what I'm saying? But I'm on my smack. I'm on my smack Troy Mitchell shit, man. It got to be on URL for it to be official. Can't copy respect. You know.
A battle rapper tweeted this out. No, he said this on his show. Fro said this recently on his show. He said, "Battle rappers, he said battle rappers battles are their masters, their records, their albums, our lyrics, but we don't own anything. We get paid a flat fee and sign our rights away." You say
Right.
what?
Well, a lot of times these guys don't recoup the money that they're paid. You know what I'm saying? Like
That doesn't get spoken
be,
about enough, though.
being
That's why.
paid, the pay in battle rap is still on new. It's kind
Right?
of it's sometimes it goes off of, hey, this guy across the street wants to pay me this. Do you want the battle? Were you willing to pay me this? You know what I'm saying? So, in order for you to say, like, for one, he's incorrect. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I understand where he's coming from, but he's
Mm,
incorrect because you do own your lyrics. We don't own anyone's lyrics.
mm,
We own the performance,
mm,
but the lyrics you own. So if you want to take the lyrics and make it into a song or do your best your best bars and put it up on Spotify, you own the artist owns that 100%. But we own the performance because we pay for everything top to bottom. So
mm,
we own what we pay for. You understand? Like I can't pay you, not recoup, and then don't have ownership of my own performance. It just doesn't make any sense. So yes, in a sense, like, and you're being paid for a performance. I own the performance, but I don't own the lyrics. The
Yeah.
lyrics and the publish.
Would you ever sell a battle to a battle rapper? Because Rosenberg recently he just bought his Chiller battle from TBL and got on his channel right now. Would you guys ever do something like that? I don't think you guys do that.
No, I'm not interested in that because if I'm paying for the battle, I want the battle,
Right,
right?
right, right, right,
So I
right.
don't want to, you know what I'm saying? If somebody wants to battle, but maybe, it meant more, it didn't mean as much to TBL as it meant to him. So it's
Mm,
all about value and perspective. You know what I mean? But like, I understand what it is, but like that's what we're selling performances. You know
right.
what I'm saying? Like there's no actual widget that you can sell in battle rap where it's like music, it's like a song and you can download the song and then you own the song and all these different things like that. It's a little bit different. Again, this is still a new industry. So we're still trying to find out ways to monetize and build. But also what people gotta understand is like if I sell a let's just say where people generate um revenue is from
Mm,
YouTube, right?
right.
So if I have a battle and I
Mm,
put out a battle and say the battle does, you know, $400,000 or $500,000,
mm,
what does that really equate to, right? That might equate to $3,000 in revenue, right? Three, maybe three, 4,000.
mm,
That's not even covering barely one guy's purse.
mm,
It's two of you in there, right? So it's the guys' purses, right? Then it's
mm,
the things that come with it, the travel, the promotion, the
mm,
marketing. the lighting, the production, all those things,
all that, right?
right, have to be earned and generated, and they don't recoup. And it's not because battle rap isn't valuable. It's
Mm-hmm.
just that it's something new that we haven't fully figured out how to monetize yet. But there is value in it, right? And I'm sure when the first records were made, they weren't sold. They were just for listening purposes.
Mm-hmm.
And then people figured out, hey, we can make a record store and people can make record players and then people can take it and put it on record players and we can sell it. And then, record players and those things left and technology came and now we got sound waves and now we can sell it as a stream and they come up with some stupid equation that, you know what I'm saying? So there's a lot that goes into actually having something to sell or to earn or to earn. But the vast majority of the time, how I look at it is we're overpaying for what these performances actually generate.
Mm-hmm.
So it's more so not just you're getting paid for the performance, but you're getting an advance on royalty because we still haven't recouped yet. You know what I'm saying? We recoup over having a vast library and creating a lot of stuff. So that's what helps us. But if you're taking an artist's actual battle and you're saying, what did this generate? We don't own anything. We didn't make any money. I didn't even recoup the money that I paid you to do the battle.
Mm-hmm.
So how can what royalty can I pay you from? And where is the royalty that's being generated from your battle? We see what it is. You can go right into YouTube and it'll tell you exactly how much your battle generated.
Facts.
So if I'm willing to part with that,
Right.
that goes to show you, what I think of the value of what YouTube pays, not what the value is. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not knocking whatever Fro said the value is because I think it's art and that's all subjective. Art
Okay.
could be worth anything. It's your art. It's your talent. It's your skill. You know what I'm saying? You can't really put a price on it. It's
Right.
just a price that somebody is willing to pay at the time.
Okay.
I could get 10 paintings and put them on the corner, right? No, serious. I could, and they could be great paintings. But
Mm-hmm.
because I'm not famous, nobody will buy the painting. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? But then, you know what I mean? Years down the line, you know what I mean? I could be involved in this crazy scenario where, I meet another famous artist or they find out that I'm related to Basquiat or something. And then some crazy occurrence happens and now my art is worth $1 million. The same when I was sitting on the corner for $5. So again, it's art and you can't put a price on art. You place the value on what it's worth. And if you don't think that the price being paid for your art is worth it, you don't have to accept the price being offered for it. You can hold on to your art and be like, I'll wait until my art is worth what I want to sell it for. And
Okay.
everyone has that right.
All right. Bees, I'm not gonna. I ain't gonna keep you too long, man. You've been rocking me for 2 hours. I appreciate you, the knowledge that you dropped on me. Definitely, I'll see you this weekend in Orlando and everything like that. Again, I love the hospitality. Y'all show love. Shout out to Arsenal people with the food and everything like that.
Yeah,
It's all
shout the
love to
arse.
JB. Shout out JB and all that. I love all you
The
guys.
arse, I need my cut. He's killing them out there.
Arsenal be killing, bro. He be killing them.
What?
He be killing it for real though,
He,
Bees.
he kills them out there. Yeah, it's gonna be a great time. We'll
Okay.
have the battles out quickly. The production will be great. The sound will be great. If you don't have the app, go get the app. You know what I'm saying? It's $7.99 for the people that got it, or $8.99 for, like, if you're joining now, it's $8.99. You'll have so much to watch. Like, even if you said I hate volume and there's years of content on there that you have not seen. Trust me. There's stuff on there, or stuff maybe you saw on Caffeine really quickly and you never got a chance to see it again. It's all on the app. There's tons and tons and hours and hours and hours, hundreds and hundreds, thousands of battles on there for you guys to go and check out. And it's dope. It keeps us running. It helps us, and it enables us to go ahead and continue to put on good battles for you guys. And, it is just, we got a studio now. We're doing a lot. You know what I'm saying? Battle Rap has its own streaming platform. Battle Rap has its own facility. There's so much that we're doing. There's so much opportunity that we're providing you know what I'm saying, for everybody. So it's not even just about us doing battles, it's about us being able to provide opportunity for a lot of your favorite talent
Yes.
within the culture. You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna keep doing that and continuing to expand and finding new ways to expand the culture, give more visibility to talent, help guys get into other fields and generate income. That's what it's all about. It's all about building, man, and that's what we're here to do. And we're always trying to shine the light and bring battle rap to the forefront.
All
We
right.
respect and love the culture.
My brother, I'll see you in a couple of days, Beasley. I appreciate you as always, brother.
See you soon, man. 3, thank you again for extending your platform. Everybody go get the URL TV app at urltv.tv
Mm-hmm.
for just $8.99. You get access to everything, the biggest battle rap library in the world. Make sure you pull up. Make sure you come out and support us, and we'll try to support you and give you the battles that you want to see and give you good quality battles. There's a lot of them on the app, man. So make sure you go and become a member, and you know what I'm saying? Let's all support each other, show love. You
Absolutely.
know what I'm saying? Show love to our brother Geechi. You know what I'm saying? Let's not spend a bunch of time condemning him and telling him about the mistakes he made. Let's look to see on ways that we can help him and get him back into the culture, because if we didn't like him or appreciate him or he wasn't relevant, this wouldn't be such a big issue. So let's shine some light on what he's got going on. You know what I'm saying? Donate. Let's help him. You know what I'm saying? Get back on track and get him back on stage as quickly as we can.
How do you feel about people bashing the donation thing for Geechi? How do you feel about that? Because I saw people bashing about that. I saw people saying that a lot of battle rappers didn't like a few things that people were saying that it's sketchy though, right? Because at one point
Yeah, I
you
mean,
want
that's tough, right?
it's tough,
Because,
it's tough.
it's easy to say, yo, man, you shouldn't support this guy, man.
Right,
He did this and he did that,
right.
but like I said, man, people make mistakes, man. And
Mhm.
you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that if indeed he is guilty of whatever he's being charged with and he goes to court and he's proven to be guilty, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that I condone it, but I'm not here to bash him. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I'm not here to pass judgment on him. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's without fault. You know what I'm
Right,
saying? Or, with everybody makes mistakes. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is, man. People are always gonna have an opinion. And a lot of times, they're generating off of that. You know what I'm saying? So they know if they say certain things, people are gonna tune in. There's a certain level of shock value to it.
mhm.
And it's just the world we live in, so
All
it
right,
is what it is. But when you make mistakes, you leave yourself vulnerable to criticism.
right. That part also. That part also. That part also. Bees, I appreciate you, King.
And I appreciate you as well.
My guy, man. Shout out, motherfucking Eric Beasley. You know what I'm saying?